All right. Going live for the people on Twitter, people on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, about to get the late night boxing talks going. Give me a second. Let me post the link for the people on Twitter. Shoo-ba-doo-ba-doo, shoo-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. All right. So I'm gonna start with this. I seen this news and I wasn't surprised because I was telling y'all that's what he was gonna do. Florian Marku, Albanian lion of the welterweight division. It appears that Florian Marku has signed a new long-term promotional agreement with Boxer and will fight on Sky Sports moving forwards. I told you guys before when his last fight was on there, a lot of people were telling me that that's just a one-off situation, that that's a singular fight, but that he may end up going to Matchroom. And I thought to myself, even if that's true, even if it is a singular fight as a result of a contract he already entered into, at the end of the day, he'd be going back to Matchroom to do what exactly? Matchroom's priority in the welterweight division is Conor Benn, and everybody knows that. And when Florian Marku was there, he expressed an interest in having that fight. He claimed that he wanted that fight, but at the end of the day, it didn't happen. I would have liked to have seen that fight. I would still like to see that fight. But now I know that there are political boundary lines. Yes, I'm wearing my Prowler stuff. I'm going to burglarize your house and steal all the boxing. I got the Skelly Boom Boom with the plaid. So with the plaid camo, so I could fit into the hedge mazes and shit. I was goody Eson. Yeah, so I mean, I figured that he's gonna box on Sky because he's not gonna want to go back to Matchroom to play second fiddle to Conor Benn. He's not gonna want to do that. So when I heard that he signed a long-term deal to Sky, I wasn't surprised. That's what I was expecting to happen. And on Sky Sports, on that platform, he can flourish, fighting domestic level guys, local guys, guys like that. It wouldn't have been all that different if he were on Matchroom, you understand? The kind of opponents that he'd be facing, it wouldn't have been all that different. I figure that Florian Marku's people, they felt, well, if we're not going to get the Conor Benn fight, and it doesn't look like we're going to get that fight, why go back to Matchroom? We already know that he's their priority. So, I mean, it is what it is. I think he can do well on Sky because he has a fan-friendly style. I think he can flourish there. I think he can. I don't expect him to face certain kinds of guys, certain kinds of fighters. I don't. But he can do okay for a while, I think. What I don't want to see is what we're seeing with David Avanesian. I don't want to see that because to me, that's silly. You were fighting on Matchroom. You fought Josh Kelly on Matchroom so that you could sign to Frank Warren and start talking about a Matchroom fighter. When you signed to Frank Warren, did it dawn on you that this is going to be an issue if you really want a Conor Benn fight? Or is it that you're just calling him out to ride his wave because you know you won't actually get a Conor Benn fight? If you wanted that fight, you wouldn't have jumped into bed with Frank. You see what I mean? So when I think about Florian, I'm just like, look, he can sign to Sky. I think that's great. I think he can do well over there at Sky. It's a big platform. Everybody's familiar with it. I think he can do well at Sky. But what I don't want to see is, okay, so now that you've signed to Sky and you've made that decision and you had time to make that decision, I don't want to see Florian calling out Conor Benn because we all know by now, all right, bro, you didn't go to Sky and signed a boxer to fight Matchroom guys, did you? Like, nobody's stupid. The UK fight fans, least of all. What I don't want to see is, oh, now all of a sudden we got to mention Conor Benn after every Florian Marku fight. I don't want to see that because that's what they're doing with David Avanesian, and it's obvious why they're doing that. Frank can't get you no fights, bro, but you signed to him, though. You signed to him. Now, I'm not advocating that the politics of boxing get in the way of fights. Ultimately, I would love to see Conor Benn versus Florian Marku or Conor Benn versus David Avanesian. I'm okay with either of those fights, but the reality of it is Frank isn't playing ball any more than Eddie's playing ball. What do I mean by that? Eddie just hit you up talking about, yo, we want to make an offer for Anthony Yard to do a fight with him and Buatsi. And what you said, you shut that shit down, right? So why would you expect anything less when it comes to David Avanesian and Conor Ben? You playing the same game. Now, if you wanted to open up those channels to start doing things and things like that, right? If you wanted to do that, you'd have been like, yo, call me about the Yard fight. Let's talk. Let's at least talk about it. Nah, you shut that shit down. So you getting shut down. It's that fucking simple. All right, what's goody D-Son? What's goody Sophia? What's goody Big Punch Brown going one? You know what I mean? It's not complicated. They both playing the same game. It's just that people are mad that Eddie is playing that game better. That, you know what, Conor Ben, he does have potential. He does seem to be amassing a lot of marquee value very quickly, very early in his career, more than David Avanesian. Why David Avanesian's people made a decision as welterweights to sign to Frank Warren. Bro, who the hell are you going to fight over there? You went over there to start calling out Conor Ben. So I think about that, and I'm like, listen, I don't want to see every Florian Marku fight they start talking about Conor Ben. You made a decision when you went over there. Your management, your people, they made a decision when they went over there. So your career got to be about you, not Conor Ben. Conor Ben doing him. He about to fight Mighty Mo Hooker. He doing what he got to do. So you need to find you some Mighty Mo Hookers to fight. You need to find you some Igas Kavaliauskas, some Javier Orozco. You need to find you some people to fight, bro, because you didn't sign the Sky because you seriously expected that to get you a Conor Ben fight. I don't want to see the wave riding. I don't want to see the clout chasing, all right? I understand that he wanted that fight and it didn't happen, and that's cool and that's great. But when you signed the Sky, you made a decision, all right? You know that. We done been through this shit show enough times that we could see through the bullshit. They're like, bro, you made that decision. If you signed the Sky, it couldn't have been because you wanted a Conor Ben fight, right? Because we done already been through this with Crawford and Spencer shit. That we all thought we was all wild out a couple of years ago that like, yo, the fight had happened, and then little by little we realized that no, it's not. No, it's not. Because they really about to freeze this man out just because he ain't with the PBC. Well, now that we've had that experience and we see that like, yo, Florian, you signed the boxer so you could keep calling out Conor Ben? Focus on the title, bro. Focus on becoming a contender, man, because motherfuckers is over that shit, bro. Just like David signed to Frank, bro, you signed to Frank to start calling out Conor Ben. Is that what you did? Enough of the bullshit. All right, what's goody, MD, Mr. D-Lope? What's goody, Danny? What's goody, Diego? Latin Major Key Boxing, what's goody? They're saying Virgil Ortiz is a duck. I've seen that sentiment expressed because I believe it's because he had the option or something like that of pursuing a David Avanesian fight. And I'm going to keep it real with you. It's hard for me to call it a duck because I think if they fought, he'll beat the fucking shit out of David Avanesian. To be honest with you, remember, David Avanesian lost to Igas Kavaliauskas. David Avanesian lost the yesterday's Lamont Peterson. He's good, but he's good at a certain point. If you put him in a ring, I'd pick Virgil to wash him 8 days out of 7. So it's hard for me to call it a duck, but I feel you because I also feel that's the kind of guy he need to be fighting. Not really a McKenna. Nothing against McKenna, right? Unbeaten guy, not a big puncher, but he can box. That's not the kind of fight I want to see Virgil in. So I understand you. I know where you're coming from when you say that I understand you. You know what I mean? I dig it. Virgil avoided to be a mandatory Spence, even though I got him beaten. David, yeah, I dig it. Like, I can't lie. Like, Virgil has already, to me, he's already proven that he's a world level contender. He's at a point where like, okay, now you're in a place where we know you world class. You done been in there with some world title challenges, some seasoned veterans. You fought a former champion in Mighty Mo Hooker. You know, he held the title at 140, not 147. But like, you done fought the kind of guys, and he has a great resume for a prospector and contender. He does. But now it is at the point to where it's like, yo, is we about to see another Munguia type shit to where you this close to fighting for a title, but you keep going the other way? Because motherfuckers don't want to see that. But you know why I don't lose patience over this shit? Look at where the belts are, bro. Are they going to give him a shot? Look at where the belts are. 3 of the 4 belts is over there on PBC Island. They going to give him a shot? You could say, listen, you could say, I would say Conor Ben is a more realistic fight, but when you say that, you putting it all on Virgil. Eddie Hearn don't want to put Conor in there with David. So what makes you think that he would put him in there with Virgil? Eddie don't want to put him in there with David. Now, if it's me, I would pick Conor to win that fight, but I know what I saw. Eddie is not in a hurry to put him in there with David. You think he'd put him in there with Virgil? See, I'm looking at the whole thing. I ain't just looking at, oh, Conor got to do this and Conor got to do that, or Virgil got to do this and Virgil got to do that. No. It's a two-way street. It takes 2 teams to make a fight. And I don't think for a second that Eddie would put Conor in there with Virgil. Not when he won't put him in there with David. That shit ain't, you know what I mean? The other thing is, okay, Virgil, Golden Boy Promotions fighter, right? Fights on the zone, right? Okay. Jaron Boots Ennis fights exclusively on Showtime. Exclusively. That's the arrangement that he has. That shit is not going to happen, bro. Like, whenever I hear any Virgil Ortiz versus Boots conversation, I already tune that shit out because they ain't going to make that. Boots is not going to cross over to the zone for that fight, and Ortiz is not going to cross over to Showtime for that fight. That's like talking about Haney versus Davis. That shit ain't going to happen. What's the fucking point? Hey, what's goody, LeRon? Hey, what's goody, Mork? It's not promotions for at the end of the day. It's the boxer who signs the contract. Yeah, but you got to remember, his promoter, right? Most people don't realize this about Boots. Boots' promoter has an exclusive deal with Showtime. You're not going to see, like, you know how you see PBC fighters that sometimes they'll fight on Fox and sometimes they'll fight on Showtime. Not Boots. Boots got to fight on Showtime. So then you got to ask, all right, so he got to fight at Showtime. Is Ortiz going to go to Showtime? No. Why? Boots' promoter is not no big-time promoter to pay the money to bring the fight to Showtime. Golden Boy ain't going to be with that. In a nutshell, it's two. If you going to blame one, you got to blame them all. Because Boots' promoter not going to send him to the zone any more than Ortiz's promoter is going to send him to Showtime. It's 2 teams you got to blame for that. And it's a lot of that right now. It ain't one way. It's a lot of that right now. I was just talking about the fucking Florian marku shit. Like, all right, bro, you went with Sky, so I'm going to assume that you're going to focus on your own career. Because what I don't want to see is the clout chasing. Don't go over there and then, oh, yeah, I got to fight kind of. Like, bro, you didn't go over there and sign to them because you wanted Conor Ben. 2, Conor Ben ain't got a fucking belt anyway. So what the fuck are you so focused on him for? Not saying that he going to do that if he do. Bro, that's interview shit, bro. All these guys say shit in interviews. Calvin Ford, Javante Davis's promoter, just did an interview talking about how they chasing Lomachenko. But who they about to fight? Rolly Romero. And who I said they was going to fight? Rolly Romero. All that interview shit. Oh, he said he'll fight Virgil in the interview. Yeah, Spence said he'll fight Crawford in the interview. All these, Tyson Fury just called Usyk a pussy. on camera, like in like that shit is not real, man. None of that shit is real, man. None of that shit is real. Said we sleeping on Rolly? Maybe we are. Bet the house on Rolly then. You know what I mean? Don't tell me. Tell the bookie. Don't tell me. You ain't gonna get no bread telling me. Tell the bookie. If you believe in Rolly, if you believe in him, and you believe he gonna knock Davis, which I'll be cool with that, by the way. If he knock his ass out, I'm okay with that. That's cool. But don't tell me. Tell the bookie. Or tell the sports book. Hey, what's goody, Luis? Hold up. Did you just say Conor? No. I said, pardon me. I meant Conor Ben beats Avanesian. If they made that fight, I would pick Conor Ben to win that fight. But at the end of the day, Eddie already said he ain't trying to make that. So it is what it is. Not Ortiz. Listen, man. A lot of motherfuckers won't beat Ortiz. That's how I feel. Like, bruh, all that shit talking and all that, he'll beat a lot of motherfuckers. Why? Because he big. He's real big for welterweight. Not Spence big. Motherfuckers been sitting here saying Spence is big for welterweight all the time. You know who big for welterweight? Virgil Ortiz. Jaron Boots Ennis. Them motherfuckers is huge for welterweight, right? Virgil will beat a lot of motherfuckers, bro. A lot of motherfuckers. I give you your Mount Rush. I give you your Mount Rushmore of boxing. You know what I mean? And I've been said, like, yo, look, all that shit that you see, like from Team Davis, all that shit, always talking about somebody and then don't fight their ass. Bro, what we gonna sit here and talk about a Haney versus Davis or a Lomachenko versus any of that shit? Motherfuckers don't see, you don't see, none of that shit is gonna happen. He gonna fight them motherfuckers that's over there. And if he beat Rolly, watch him have an Isaac Cruz rematch. He ain't gonna fight shit. So when I look at other situations involving other fighters, if this dude's promoter has an exclusive deal with Showtime, right? If his promoter and him could only fight on Showtime, it don't make no sense for me to sit here talking about no Boots versus Ortiz. It don't make sense. That shit is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I mean, maybe, but Boots is not a PBC fighter, so until something change, he not going to get those fights no faster than Virgil or anybody would, really. Why you think he can't get a Danny Garcia fight? Why you think that he not really fighting the dudes that's PBC guys? He not getting those fights. Why you think? He not a PBC fighter. Most people don't realize that. Just because he fighting on Showtime, that don't mean he PBC. Now, I don't know when that deal with that promoter, I don't know when that shit is going to be up. I don't know. But I know that right now, you could say, oh, I think he beat Spence. That's awesome. Is Spence going to fight him? You know the answer. Is if Spence didn't care to fight Crawford, he going to fight Boots? Mount Rush. Oh, what? Like my favorite fighters? My Mount Rushmore would have to be Ali, Tyson, Roy, Floyd. That's my Mount Rushmore because that's just 4 of my favorite guys. I know that those are casual favorites, but those are my 4 guys. They can do no wrong. Well, I ain't gonna say that because Floyd talked too fucking much. We talk about Tank, but no who is your Mount Rushmore of boxing? Yeah, mine would have to be Ali, Mike, because Mike got me into watching boxing. Like the first boxing matches I ever saw was Tyson fights. I found out more about Muhammad Ali much later when I was older and really, started looking and seeing like, yo, and he's the dude and all of that. I grew up in the Roy Jones Jr. era, so that's a childhood favorite of mine. I grew up in that era, so that's a childhood favorite of mine. And Floyd, he won me a lot of money because stupid boxing fans are stupid fucking people, bro. They're very emotional, and that's just more room for me to make money. Emotional motherfuckers. Go ahead, bet with your heart, yo. You really believe that shit. I appreciate that. I am the other guy. What I do is I try to use one. This is what I do. I try to make it sound like one voice is like a news anchor, kind of like a Skip Bayless type Joe Pesci. And then I use my regular voice for the ad libs. And the reason I do that is because, huh? They can't duplicate it. They don't know how to do it right, even if they tried. Even if somebody tried to duplicate it, it wouldn't come out right. They don't got the comedic timing I have. I bet that's my twin brother Julio. I'm Julio. His name is Julio. All right, that's who's doing that shit. Appreciate that, Napoli. Dream fight that never happened. Johnny Tapia versus Mark Too Sharp. Yep, Mark Too Sharp Johnson. Who would you pick if that fight happened? Too Sharp. Too Sharp because of the Emmy background. I'm not. You know what the thing is, Campos? This is the thing, right? A lot of the guys that's high on Boots, and I don't blame them because I see that he has a lot of talent, size, speed. He's a switch hitter, leads with the left, leads with the right. He got all the things, but you know what he don't have? He don't have the names. Resume for resume, Virgil has a way better resume than Boots. But as far as a ceiling, Boots' ceiling, it could be very high. But until he get out there and like I want to see, you know what I want? I want Boots versus Stanionis, or the winner of Stanionis versus Butaev against Boots. Because I feel like, you beat Dulorme, you beat Lipinets. Come on, B. Dulorme is shot. Lipinets, that dude ain't do shit at 140, even less at 147. So beating him don't tell me a lot. Now, if you could beat the shit out of a Butaev, that's telling me something. Uh, right. I'm gonna say this. Look, right. The resume is a yardstick. Like the resume tell you, where is he at? Has he fought a puncher? Has he fought a mover? Has he boxed the southpaw? It tell you where the dude is at and what he has dealt with so far. And when I look at Virgil resume, he fought Brad Solomon, he fought Mauricio Herrera, he fought Samuel Vargas, who fought a lot of fucking people, knocked his ass out. He fought fucking Igis Kavaliauskas, a two-time Olympian who is a puncher. He is a puncher. He knocked down Bud. When I look at that resume, he fought Mighty Mo Hooker, who gave him a good fight before his hand broke. Motherfuckers don't be remembering that, really. He ain't get stopped like he was getting decked and he got stopped. Nah, his fucking hand broke and they stopped and he just didn't want to go on. When I look at that, I'm like, look, I know more about this guy than this guy. You looking good against who? Dulorme? Because motherfuckers will go with some shit just because it looked good. And it's like, all right, cool. I see he got talent, but he looking like that with Dulorme, with Lipinets. Because Virgil wouldn't beat them guys? Because Conor Ben wouldn't beat them guys? I need to see more. I need to see him with somebody good so I could know that, like, it ain't just. Because come on, B, that's Thomas Dulorme, bro. Bootsai ever beat today's Thomas Dulorme? Bootsai ever run through motherfucking Sergey Lipinets? He run through him. Stanionis will run through that motherfucker. All right, well, I'm gonna let y'all argue about what kind of beer y'all drink in the comments. The bottom line is, I have nothing against Boots. His promotional situation is unique. I just want to see him fight better fighters because you gonna look like that, bro. You know, you gonna look like that with dudes like that. Like you auto, you gonna look like that. You haven't Boots hasn't had an acid test yet, but Virgil has, and that's facts. He had an acid test yet. He did. He fought world title challenges. You know what I mean? Knocking out Dulorme in a round. The fuck? Now he may end up fighting Castillo Clayton, which I think is a great fight. Castillo Clayton is an Olympian. He represented Canada. He's a good stick and move guy, young, unbeaten. He fought once last year, so he ain't got no ring rust. He actually had a fight in the last 12 months. So I'm looking forward to that. Like, let me see how he look with him. Let me see how he look with him so that I know that you know what I mean? It ain't just smoke and mirrors and shit. Because right now, the level of competition, like, bruh, who ain't gonna look like that with that Dulorme? Who ain't gonna look? Because Virgil Ortiz wouldn't fucking wash Sergey Lipinets? We want to see all the fights. They need to get in the ring and make things happen. I dig it. Next up, we got fucking Luis Neri about to come back. And y'all know how I feel about this guy, man. I don't really got a lot of time for Luis Neri. It seems like he coming back kind of quick or forgetting his fucking rib cage beat the fuck up. It seemed like it's kind of quick. He's fighting unbeaten Carlos Castro. About to fight that dude, right? And you know, y'all know I don't give a fuck about Luis Neri, man. You said Virgil ducking Boots? How? How is he ducking Boots? I don't know, man. I don't know where these guys come up with this stuff, man. I should let Campos, Campos and what's this guy's name? Major Key Boxing. I'm gonna let y'all join the panel and argue about the shit. Cause I mean, to me ain't shit to argue about because they ain't gonna fucking fight. And it ain't like Boots could leave Showtime. He can't leave Showtime. Motherfuckers either understand that shit or they don't. But I ain't finna argue about it. But I'll shoot y'all the link so y'all can argue about it if y'all want. Cause that dude can't leave Showtime. So ain't shit to argue about. He can't leave Showtime. And I'm pretty sure Virgil, he has to fight on the zone because Golden Boy is with the zone. I got you. All right, let me shoot you the link right now so y'all can hash it out. And I'll mediate for y'all, right? I got you right now, my guys. Y'all could argue about this shit and we could just, hear the debate. I'm with it, Campos. Yeah, I'm with that shit too, bro. The arguing shit is not, the arguing shit is not even needed. But y'all can hash out y'all differences about this Boots and Virgil Ortiz shit. All right, what's good, Mark?
Hey, what's good, EJ? How are you today? How are you?
I'm about to let these guys argue about this shit or debate about this shit. But like I said, like I know Boots' situation, and that dude can't leave Showtime. So I'm like, when to me, it just make me scratch my head. Like, well, when was they supposed to fight? Did anybody order it?
I think. Well, I don't want to say too many things because they could use those things in their arguments, right?
You're right.
But the one thing I will say, and I think you'll agree with me, is the idea of Boots and Virgil is one. That's an ideal, right? It's an ideal that we as fans would love. But in terms of just raw factual energy, it's never been discussed outside of fans. It's
It
never been
hasn't.
in a boardroom. It's just fans want to see a fight like that. It's essentially like Spence and Crawford. The
No,
situation.
you know what this shit is? It's not even Spence and Crawford, because at least Spence and Crawford, it wasn't just the fans. You know, the industry itself was calling
Demanded
for
it.
that. Yeah, like the industry itself was calling for that fight. Whereas Boots and Ortiz, bruh, they ain't, man, them motherfuckers not gonna fight,
Well,
man.
at least before my statement is completely dismissed, give it 2 years when the industry does start to demand it. 2-3
Yeah,
years.
I agree. I agree. Maybe in 2 years that'll be like a really really hot topic. But right now, I'm like, bro, that shit ain't gonna happen right now. If that shit ever happens, it ain't about to happen.
If it ever happens, though, we'll be hook, line, and sinker.
Well, I mean, look, Boots shows a high ceiling. I'm like he does a lot of things well, but it's just you gonna look like that with Dulorme though. You are though. Like that ain't bull.
Yeah, I feel you. I would say like the separation in the resume right now is that prime welterweight, which is Aegis, right? Which I understand why you're looking for that Butayed. That's the equalizer because they both have world champions in different weight divisions. Like one has Lipinets, the other has Hooker. You can make your choice there. A Castillo Clayton win would be a good win if you were to get that win too. Clayton, who probably should have got a win over Lipinets himself, 8-4 in my opinion. So I feel you on that. I would just say the separation on the resumes right now is that Aegis win.
All right, so let everybody know. All right, right now we got Drew on the chat, Eson on the chat, Mark on the chat, and Campos just joined. I'm waiting for Major Key to join.
That's not the real major. That's not the real Major Key, by the way. Just so you know.
Did he change his name to David
No, no, no.
Morrell?
That's a different Major Key. So there's Major Key, and then there's a person who trolls Major Key with that name.
Okay, well, whoever was arguing with Campos right now, feel free to click the link. But I'm not gonna lie that I'm like, I don't know. It's a lot of silly conversations that go on in boxing. That's the only way I could put it. It's just a lot of silliness that it's like, bro, when you look behind the curtain and you see things for what they are, you're not gonna waste time talking about that fight because it ain't gonna happen. Right now, the most I can say is that right now for me, Virgil has a better resume and he has way less fights than Boots, which is what I noticed. Boots is coming up on close to 30 fights. Virgil doesn't have nowhere near 30, not yet. I think he's got 20 or 20, 21 around there, and he has fought better people. And yeah, I'm just waiting for Boots to fight somebody that is like, all right, like you beat Boots, all right, you beat Castillo Clayton. I could work with that, but right now you beat Lipinets and Dulorme. I'm not writing home about that.
Who is Boots' next opponent meant to be?
Castillo Clayton.
Okay. His next fight is better than Virgil's next fight, right?
I
But
would say so.
Virgil's last fight is better than Boots' last fight. You get me? That Aegis win is it was a 10 welterweight.
Well, I mean, this is the thing that we talking. See, this is the thing, right? Me and you could say that because I know that. All right, you watch the whole sport, but if you just one of these cats that like, oh, Eagles ain't shit. I don't have time for that, bro. Here's what I know: that man is a 2-time Olympian. That's what I know. I also know he's very big for welterweight and he can punch. I know he beat David Evanesian.
He
Also.
destroyed David, by the way. Destroyed him.
So if a motherfucker telling me, oh, Ortiz ain't shit, you basically telling me Eagles ain't shit. And I'm like, nah, see, that's not accurate. That's not accurate. Eagles have beat a lot of motherfuckers, so that's not accurate.
Whoa.
Eson, your mic is fucked, bro. Get your mic in order,
Get your
bro.
mic up, Eson.
Right,
Who's on the fucking highway, by the way?
Yeah, whoever's in traffic, mute your mic, man. I hear all the cars passing by. I could tell it's a cop car not far away.
I got something to complain about non-boxing related. Jules, you're a business owner, right?
You could say that.
Do you get will you get a 1099, Jules?
Yes, I will.
Yeah, the fucking IRS is pissing me off with this EIN shit and the 1099 today.
All right, hold on. Hold on. Let me let Campos Vasquez make his case. Campos hasn't got the chance to speak yet. Campos, what's going on?
Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I wasn't arguing. The guy trolling using the major keys name said that Boots beats Spence and Ortiz easy. What I posted is that no, he doesn't. Boots doesn't beat anyone easy because the last dude Boots fought had 2 or 3 straight losses. Boots hasn't fought a puncher yet. In 30 fights or 30 plus fights, Boots hasn't fought a puncher.
I
That's
agree.
all I said. I never said Virgil beats Boots, or I never said Boots beats Virgil. I just stated that right now, Virgil is more established and Virgil has a better resume. That's all I stated. And that guy's saying that I drink Coronas and Modelos. I'm just stating facts, not trying to argue who beats who, because these guys aren't going to fight at 147. They're probably going to fight at 154.
Fuck around, they fight at 160, bro, because I don't see them fighting. Like, really? I'm gonna be real with you.
I
can
nearly
see them-
spit my water when I saw that this dude say, "Oh, Ennis beats Virgil Ortiz easy." Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but you know what this shit is? I'm gonna tell
It's
you
a great
something.
point.
Hold on, let me tell you something. That same whoever mic is, sort out your mics, man. Sort out your mics. What I remember that Erickson Lubin, you know, he before he got stopped by Jermel, it was the same situation. Oh, he beats everybody, he beats everything, and everybody quickly forgot because that's the way that shit is. He beats everybody, he beats everything. It was. I remember in the Facebook groups there was a lot of guys picking him to beat Jermel, and I took one look at him, then I looked at his resume. I'm like, man, this dude ain't for shit. I'm picking him out. You know what I mean? It's one of those that I'm like, look, I don't know what's gonna happen with Ennis until he fights somebody that
With a pulse.
yeah, because I'm not knocking him because if you want my honest opinion, he's being frozen out. I've been saying that they're freezing him out. Nobody wants. No, you don't see none of the channels that normally love to say a lot of fucking shit. You don't see them saying it, but it's the truth. The PBC not going to let him fight Thurman unless he joins the PBC.
Unless he joins the PBC, exactly.
And he's not a PBC fighter. Like
Right.
by all rights, the fight that he is ready for is Keith Thurman. That's the fight that he ready for. But that shit ain't about to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we talked about, Jules, Ennis ain't gonna get his real shot until he move up.
Really? Really. I'm gonna tell you what, Drew. He ain't gonna get it then either.
Yeah,
He not.
He's not. He's not. I don't see him really getting a shot at some like crossover appeal until he's at 160.
All right, this is what I'm gonna do because that dude, all he did was change his name to act like a fucking retard. Check this shit out, bro. Check this shit out.
Off the top of my head, I figure like, what about Ennis?
Bro, hold on.
Yeah, my bad. All right.
What time is it? Let me see what time it is.
It's 9:26.
Yo, dog, it's 9:26, bro. Get a fucking life, bro. Seriously, the fuck is wrong with you? The motherfucker literally changed his name because I'm not gonna know it's the same person. This fucking cocksucking ass, yo. I hate this generation. I hate this
generation's basura, bro. Believe me.
Bunch of weirdos.
They do,
Yeah.
yo. This generation does the most weird shit. Like, yo, look, right now we're all congregated here to talk boxing. Period. Right? Not to act stupid, not to troll each other, not to violate and disrespect each other. Right? At 9:26 at night on the East Coast, this is what you doing with your time, bro. Some fucking pussy or something. Go make some money, sell some drugs, do some job application, do something with yourself, bro.
Exactly.
Play
Goofy ass
PlayStation,
shit.
whatever.
Motherfucker can't afford
Jerking
a
off is better
PlayStation.
than trolling somebody. Like, come on.
Motherfucker can't. You
At
see what
least.
them shits cost? I was gonna buy my kid one. I was like, nah, I'm not spending that on that bullshit for a 5-year-old.
they raised the prices over on Christmas because everybody pre-ordered that shit and they ran out. So if you wanted to go to like say Target or whatever, instead of the normal $500, they raised it to like $700-800.
Yeah, I was like, cause for Christmas I was thinking about getting like my son a Wii and all of that, and or X, just all that video game bullshit. And
Mhm.
I seen what that shit costs. I was like, man, you could shuck my dick 700 times.
Yeah, but they got
Exactly.
scalpers that are basically
Yeah.
selling that
There's
shit way above MSRP. You know,
Yep, they're gouging that shit. Yep, they're gouging price. Like I
on
even
top of
seen
the
like
fact that there's a shipping like issue, like there's a distribution issue with as far as like the shipping lines is concerned. But like it's the worst that could happen.
yeah,
Well, let
yeah,
me
exactly.
just address the troll shit. I'm like, listen, man, you could be doing a lot of shit with your time, bro. Like you really could, and you gonna go as far as making a screen name and like, yo, the fuck, and yo, shit is wild, b. Shit is
Don't worry
wild.
about
B,
it, Jules.
you could be making some money. You be getting some pussy, but you doing this
Mhm.
shit.
That's what I mean. They're like, yo, you really ain't got nothing going on. That's what you doing, bro. Like, man, yo, you
Hey.
know what? Go walk in the traffic.
That's hey, Jules, that's that
Go
other
play
side
some
of Twitter
traffic.
coming over here, bro. You know what I mean?
No, I know. You think I don't know? I know because I put it on Twitter. They're like, I'm about to go live. Everybody welcome. Da 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 da. But if all you, man, listen, man, I ain't even going because that
Man,
shit
fuck
get
that guy.
no. It's just getting because he ain't do shit to me. It just surprises me that I'm like, yo, this is what the youth is like in 2022, bro. This is what y'all do.
Mhm.
Fucking
Don't pay no never minds to the motherfuckers. Let them do their own fucking thing. Just fuck them. You know what I
this
mean?
Yo, Jules.
generation.
I got a
Not
question for
oh,
Jules.
go
Hold on,
ahead.
one at a time. Go ahead.
Jules, how do you feel about Kanye stealing yours and Joe Gooson's denim drip? You
Yo,
see him
look.
wearing nothing but denim now.
Yo, Kanye look like a dude that got. I'm gonna tell you the truth, B. Kanye probably got ED, bro. The way he moving, you moving like.
Yo.
All I'm saying though, Joe, it's funny he wearing all that denim now though.
Let me break it down for you, right? That dude moving like he don't get out of bed for nothing no more. And I'm like, see the first, who got all that shit going on in the background?
Kim Kardashian smashed and dashed him.
Yeah, hold on. Whoever got all that background noise, mute your mic, man. I can hear pots and pans and people in the shit in the back. I bet. Now, what I was going to say is, yo, I looked at that dude and I'm like, yo, why is this dude dressing like this? You can't possibly think that shit looks right. You running around with a mat, like, what's wrong with you, bro? And it's like, yo, you know what it is? This dude got mad money, right? You got mad money, but your meat probably don't work, so you lost your purpose, because that's how he moving, like a dude that lost his purpose. Like, why you dressing like that? Why you acting like that? That's not normal, bro. Like
That's an interesting theory.
I'm
I
trying
don't
to
know,
tell
man.
you. No, I think, yo, legit. Yo, look, your big booty joint dipped out on you for some young dude that put peroxide in his head. So what
Yeah,
that
but I
young
think
dude, hold on, what that young dude got, what that young dude got that Yeezy ain't got? He ain't half soft. That's the fuck going on.
but I think he kind of upgraded though to Julia Fox, man. That broad is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'll keep it. I would rather Kim be.
His
I'm
No,
gherkin ain't
Kim,
working.
listen, I'll keep Kim because she a good lawyer. Her daddy got OJ out of jail, so
I'm
Look,
gonna tell you why I can't take Kim, just because that whole body is like artificial. My
bro,
dude.
when
Yeah.
you come
That
on,
shit is like
Drew, when
you're
you
basically
looking down,
clapping the cheeks of a colostomy bag.
fellas,
man,
I'm in
stop it,
fellas,
man.
I'm in LA. Like if you've ever laid down with a bra that's all fucking plastic, it's not fun, bro.
It's not. It's
It's
stiff.
really, I'm just like, a good pair of titties, yes, I don't mind. But when her hips feel fake and her thighs and her ass, like, it's just,
Then
I've been there, bro. It's weird. It's like you're fucking a blow up doll.
Like, bro, it's
Dead-
supposed
dead
to feel
ass,
like
B.
a waterbed, not like a fucking brick.
I
I'm
mean,
just,
Jules, when you hitting it from the back and you feel those little things jiggle, like it just feel weird,
it don't
bro.
feel right.
No, it
When
don't.
when you don't see waves, that means it's fake.
All right, I'm gonna keep it real with you, right? If
You
you
want
in
to
it,
see them? I know.
like
I
I'm
know
gonna
the
say
type of
this.
women you like, Jules.
I ain't never been with a beanbag, so I don't. You know what I mean? Like if
That's
you
what I'm
saying
saying,
that the
Jules. I know
beanbag
you like
don't feel
Jules.
right, I could understand
I know
that.
you like seeing tiger stripes. I know
Yeah,
you like
like
seeing the ass going waves.
the cellulite, all of that. Like that's cool, B. That's nature. Like that's cool. But if you
The
but if
man said that's nature.
that's nature, bro. Like that's cool. Just
Yeah.
like look, remember when we was talking about another live, we was talking about the war paint, and I said I appreciate the effort. Like I'm with it with the wigs and I'm with all the shit. Yo, do that shit. Animals in the forest, right? It's a fucking spider that does a dance to get some
Yeah,
pussy.
yeah, yeah.
It's,
Mhm.
it's facts. The
Mm.
peacock show they booty feathers to get
It's mating. Yeah, I know.
so this it's to me it's all a ritual like the face paint or so I dig it, but I draw the line at the beanbag. Like you telling me the bitch ass feel like a what was them beanie babies? You telling me his shit feel like a beanie baby?
It's the
Like
one big beanie baby. Yeah, like
A
chill,
beanie baby butt.
god
chill.
damn. It looks like not, but Kim's booty looks like a diaper doll. Like, I'm being real here.
Oh man. No, I'm cool then. Like I could see that being a problem. Like when you in there, you hitting and it just don't feel right. Like yo, man, this shit.
Wait, does Kim have silicone in her ass, or did she do like the actual ass injections where she took fat from somewhere else and
Yeah,
injected it?
because if it's just fat in there, that ain't nothing wrong with some fat. If she
I
just,
think
Yeah, I
no, I
mean,
think what she did was the fat injections, right? Like it's not. I don't think she went full on like fucking plastic beauty.
then again, yo, you know
She's
what? Have
wearing
you seen?
Depends.
Listen. Have you seen her thighs and like the ass to thigh ratio is really weird. Like even if she did
it
do
is.
the ass to fat
It's
injection
because she
shit,
took it from the thighs, bro.
these
Yeah, but
bitches is
like her shit was natural in the Ray J video. I mean, come on. Like, well, why she had to fuck it up?
said. Hold on, wait. Let me go back to the fantasy fight. I gotta read these super chats. I skipped the fantasy fight. George says, fantasy fight, Chavez Sr. versus Sammy Engot. Who you got?
Sammy ain't got. You have to go back to like the 40s. Like, didn't Sammy ain't got fight Ray Boom Boom Mancini's father?
Shit, dog.
Sammy angered the clutch.
That's way back.
Well, Sammy was a great lightweight in his day. Brilliant
Yeah.
lightweight. He
fought
they
Lenny
called.
Mancini. He fought Lenny Mancini before Lenny
They
Mancini
called.
went to World War II.
Well, that wouldn't be the most notable guy he fought, but yeah, he did fight Lenny Mancini. I mean, he fought against guys like Ray Robinson, maybe.
Okay, Sugar Ray
Maybe that'd be the
Robinson.
yeah,
Yep.
maybe he beat Ike Williams. He fought Bojack a couple times. Like he fought a lot of guys, man. He beat Willie Pep. He beat Henry Armstrong. Actually, I think Anga took Willie Pep's up. He took Willie Pep's up.
Does he beat Chavez though?
Well, it's a completely different time period where fighting styles were completely different.
Yeah.
Completely.
I would say, look, time machine fight. I'll go Chavez just because I grew up watching Chavez. I love Chavez. I love Chavez. Like I love pressure fighters, and he was a smart one. I like Chavez for the fight. Let me read Willie Lynch's super chat. Willie says, "Plastic real. It all looks and feels like heaven. Mock me to my grave, but nobody is gonna be ashamed of liking tits and ass." This weird ass generation, Mike. Let me tell y'all something, yo. I was on Twitter earlier, right? Somebody posted a TikTok, and it was all guys, all emo guys. The shit start off. Who do guys call when they're feeling down? And then they played the sad music. I don't call anyone. No one. I'm like, so bitch ass shit. Why don't you talk to God, you sad motherfucker? Pray or go build some shit. The fuck is wrong with y'all?
Yo, Zoomer TikToks are one of the funniest shit online, bro. I gotta follow this thing. I follow this account on Instagram called Fave TikToks, bro. It's like these kids are just talking to each other. They really are.
But it's always some pity me. Like, yo, it's always some pity me. Like, what we as men now, we want pity because we don't call each other. Yo, my Xbox stopped working. Like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, dude, you're not gonna believe this, man. My Lexus doesn't even have a GPS.
You know what I mean? Like what are we supposed to like call each yo mom?
Jacob won't let me go to his birthday party.
Yo, I didn't get an RSVP for the like what? Like what is going on? You know what you do with your idle time? Pray or build something.
I went to a restaurant to see the a la carte menu, and when I pulled up, there was no cart.
This shit is stupid. Like, I don't know, man. This generation has a fixation for pity. They really want to throw themselves, even when they ain't got nothing to be sad about.
Yo,
I had
Jay,
it
what's
so
happening?
hard. I had it so hard.
It really shows the level of like just weirdness, because the pity me party, it's kind of like they can't get value in becoming valuable, so they look for pity as their own form of self-valuation. Like, that's so sad.
You
So
know, it
sad.
They don't believe in
Narcissistic,
God.
really.
That's the problem. They don't believe in God.
So, Wab, thank you, because
We
this is
can't-
what
They
I'm
don't
going to say.
believe in God.
Let
They
me say
believe in
this.
something else.
So, Wab, I'm going to say this. We probably pray to different gods. I completely respect that. I'm okay with that, because that gives, to me, that relationship that mankind has with a higher power, or that relationship that it used to have, used to take mankind to great heights. And what I see a lot now, and I'm not judging, but this is just what I see. This is just my opinion. It's a lot of godlessness in the world. You looking for something to fill a void that you have there, and you know why you have a void? Because you won't bow down to something greater than yourself. You think you supposed to be it, and then when you realize, bro, you ain't shit. You can't even bag these bitches. You ain't shit.
No, that's
You bad.
it's true though, man.
They
It's true.
think they're above. They think they're above God.
I think
I
it's
always say
subjective.
like without God, I'm nothing.
Like, there's a reason, Jay. Like, every chat I go into, every chat room, you'll always see the very first message I always write is "God bless" everywhere I go. Just always God bless.
No, like I say, like, I'm not, and I ain't preachy, but you know, if a motherfucker came here. I ain't coming to nobody with my shit. I'm saying that I notice a difference now that I'm much older and I see the direction that society is going, and I see what is customary, the different, for lack of a better word, how the populace thinks, or how their mind tends to work. I'm like, well, there's a lot of godlessness now. You're trying to justify all types of bullshit, like, oh, that's fat shaming. Let me tell you something, homegirl, and I ain't trying to knock you or nothing, but the truth is, if you're a certain height and a certain weight, that is unhealthy. We're gonna promote, unhealthy practices now. You gotta change your life, B. And it's just a lot of things that people do now that it's like, yo, this is you want to make everything okay so that you don't feel like a loser. But I'm gonna tell you something. There's moments where you need to feel like a loser so you can do better. How you gonna do better if everybody keep telling you, well, no, it's all right. It's all right. No, it's not all right. The fuck?
It sucks. That's why you feel like shit. Do better so you won't feel that way.
So get in that gym and do them deadlifts and do them squats and get them delts and them traps and them lats and them pecs so you can feel good, fit in the t-shirt and get laid, goddamn.
Whatever it is.
A real friend would not enable you. He would tell you to get up, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Whatever.
What the fuck going on? Like,
look, whatever it
Jules,
is. If you're low on money, pick up a course, get yourself an extra job.
sell some goddamn drugs.
Hey, yo, man.
Yeah. Jules, I don't.
Just saying.
Yeah. I don't mean to sound like a Karen. Yo,
All right, let's
I don't
go
mean
boxing.
Yeah, let's talk about boxing.
Yo,
I don't mean to sound like a Karen, but like I want to speak to Regis Prograis' manager. Like, what the fuck are you doing with his career?
Nah,
I wanted to talk about Julio
let's-
Cesar Martinez.
Okay, first, let's go to the Regis. I'm glad you brought him up, Virtuoso. This is what I'm gonna say, right? It looks that way on the surface, but what you have to ask yourself is, what fights are actually available to him? Who are we expecting him to fight? Subriel Matias is over there on PBC, right?
Yeah.
Regis is not a top-ranked fighter, so he not gonna get no Jose Zapata. He not gonna get no Jose Pedraza, no Jose Ramirez. He not gonna get that because he not over there. And
He's with Schaefer, right?
He's with
with
Schaefer.
Regis.
And
Yep.
the other shit about that is, who do you even see calling him out that we gonna look at him crazy? What I see is that Leo Santa Cruz hasn't fought in a year, and he has a fucking belt, and he hasn't fought in a year. What I see is Gary had a belt, and he didn't fight in 2 fucking years. But that whole time, Regis was fighting. So I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him.
And it's even more insulting that Leo's had that same belt for 3 years, didn't even fucking defend it for 3 years.
That
It's
whole
bullshit.
featherweight division with Leo and Gary, and which makes it so stupid that
I'm
Gary
so
says he
glad
was
Gary
out to get him.
Russell's out.
Gary had
I
the
hope-
nerve to say it was a conspiracy and out to get him when a WBC lets you have that shit for years and not be active, no mandatories, nothing.
Listen. The conspiracy was to let him keep it, because I remember last year they ordered the Ray Vargas fight and you didn't have it. Did they strip you? No, they let you keep the belt. You didn't fight in 2 years. Other people are actually getting ordered to fight. You got to keep the belt, not fighting. So if there was a conspiracy, it was for you to keep the belt. Because I remember they ordered you to fight Ray Vargas. That didn't happen. They let you rock. They didn't strip you. They didn't
turn down
listen,
1
hold
mil
on.
for a Josh Warrington fight.
Now you see what the IBF is doing with Hergovic, right? To where we're gonna have this final eliminator with or without so and so, to where they go down the ranks and look for someone to fight. The WBC didn't do that with fucking Gary. They didn't do that. Oh,
No.
Ray's not gonna fight. Okay, well you just sit tight then. You chill, bro. You chill. You just hold on to the belt, bro. Fuck out of here with this conspiracy shit.
I kind of agree with
And
what
that's
Jimmy
how
said about.
honestly, Jules panel. That's why I believe when Leo says like, "I'll take the fight." It's just Gary wants some crazy amount of number.
Yeah, but I don't believe Leo,
But
bitch
the
ass.
only reason I
know.
believe it, the only reason I believe that premise is he turned down $1 million for Warrington.
Listen.
Exactly.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. Right? When you want to fight, you want to fight. When you want to know you the best, you want to know. Leo don't want to know. That's obvious, because the both of y'all as a team, yo, look, you want to fight me, right? I want to fight you, right? Now they just fucking put Charles Martin and Luis Ortiz on pay-per-view. They put them 2 motherfuckers on pay-per-view. Let's go to Al, your manager, my manager, our teams or whatever. Let's go to Al. Yo, put us on pay-per-view, man. Put our fight on pay-per-view. It's a
But like you
unification
said,
match.
Jules, it's
I'm
lack
so
of
glad
quality
that-
control. Like they don't have no imagination.
Exactly.
Nah.
Exactly.
How you gonna put Thurman versus Barrios on pay-per-view?
On a paywall, right?
Martin versus Ortiz on pay-per-view. But you got 2 champions in the same weight class, and it can't happen?
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
go. I'll
That's
go.
how you
One
know. That's how
champion
you
that
know
hasn't
Al.
fought for 3 years.
I'm so glad Maxio beat Russell, and I'm hoping Leo is next for Maxio so he can fucking beat him.
All the lack of quality control lets you know that Al Heyman's running off with the dough eventually.
That's what I see.
Exactly.
That's what
we all think, man. I don't think that's the reason why they're putting all this, just to say that we haven't got the money. We're just gonna let the people pay for it. If the people don't want to pay for it, that's it. PBC's gone. We're out. And
it's
can't wait
smart
for
though
that day.
too, from a shady snake point of view, because those guys don't have no minimums, right, Jules? If they're going on pay-per-view, right?
I mean, listen, Gary, that the reported purses for Gary Russell Jr.'s last fight, peep this shit, right? And this is like this is insane, bro. You rejected $1 million early last year because you said it was beneath you. You know what his reported purse for Maxayo was?
$250,000.
Less than that.
Half.
Yeah.
Oh my
less.
god. Less than Ngannou? What the fuck?
Hey,
Yo,
so
these
Jules,
dudes hustle backwards, bro. They
pulled a-
hustle
what the
backwards.
fuck is
Their
going
priorities
on?
are fucked up.
he pulled
Their
a Peter
priorities are
Quillen.
fucked up.
Yo,
Isn't that what happened with Peter? He got less to get knocked out by Danny Jacobs than to fight Andy Lee, right?
You really gonna sneeze at $1 million, right? Your bleeding hearts. They
Take
didn't
half of that.
They didn't castigate you. They didn't lambaste you. Nothing. You yourself. It's not Eddie Hearn talking to Coogan Cassius or Boxing Social or Sporting Icons or nobody. You admitted Eddie offered you $1 million and you turned it down. Your fans don't say Bo Diddley so that you
Tony
could
Harrison's
lose.
fans don't say nothing about him turning down Tim Zoo.
So that you could lose for half the money Eddie offered you.
God, bro, that is ridiculous,
But
man.
guys, let me ask
You
a
know,
question.
now that I
Let me
think
ask a
about it,
question.
Pound
All right,
face
now,
value, you
everybody,
better vote.
chill,
Let me ask a
everybody
question.
chill. Box Watch got a question. He ain't even get to talk yet. Go ahead, Box Watch.
Yeah, greetings to the panel and everything. Big up, Jay Wagwan.
God bless, man.
So, yes, yes, man, go big on. up. So, what I'm asking is, yeah, Leo Santa Cruz against Gary Russell. That would have done a couple numbers, though, wouldn't it? That would have done 200K now.
Honestly, I'll say 150 to 200,000.
So then, Gary, what if he's not going to accept $1 million? Because he was saying that was like, do you get me? That was like some chump change.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if he's not going to accept $1 million for that as a unification, what's he going to want for Leo Santa Cruz as a unification?
Well, this is the thing, right? This is the thing, because this is how I know that those guys over there are kind of dumb, right?
Even though it don't matter no more anyways.
Dumber than a box of rocks.
Dumber than a box of rocks. So right now, Gary Russell has to know by now that Al don't really want that fight. He had to know. So the idea of us even exploring avenues for a Leo Santa Cruz fight, it's already farce. But let's say, you're a moron and you feel like wasting your time. Okay, Leo. Okay, let me call Leo. Listen, Leo, we try and get this money, bro. Can we get this money? And if Leo willing to play ball, listen, I want to be on pay-per-view. So let's say he gives me $1 million guarantee. You get what you got for Davis. You get 1.5 because we know you bring in the Chicano fans. I'm okay to take the 1. You take the 1.5. Let's do the fight. At minimum, we might be able to walk away with 3. I get 3 overall. You get 3 overall if the pay-per-view has an upside. And it would if the operational costs are low. Like, okay, I only got $1 million guarantee. He only has a $1.5 million guarantee. So those operational costs, they ain't even high. It ain't even a lot. You know what I mean?
Jake, can I put a question in there? I just don't understand. How did WBO let him hold onto that belt for 3 years without having one fight?
WBA.
He meant to have a mandatory WBA.
Because they are fucking bunch
WBA.
of dickheads, bro. They dickheads. Like,
because Ugas was right. They're communists. Everybody gets a piece.
That's actually true.
It's just that the WBA stands for we're behind Al. That's all it is. All these belt organizations have a certain agenda to these promotions.
All right,
now I want to go back to Gary real quick.
Wait. There's too many people talking at the same time. Chill. He was mid-sentence. All right, fantasy fight. There was once talks of Frankie Gomez from East LA against Bud Crawford circa 2016-2017. Gomez walked away from the sport. Who would win? What would Gomez do to the men that Bud fought? And this is what I'll say about Frankie Gomez. Frankie retired undefeated, by the way, unless I'm mistaken. He retired undefeated. What I'm going to say is a guy who makes a decision to walk away is not a guy I think would have beaten Terrence Crawford, because you letting me know a lot about yourself with that you walked away. It's kind of like the Ryan Garcia situation. Ryan said that he walked into the gym and cried. And listen, I'm not laughing at you was crying. I'm not. But what I'm saying is you don't have what it takes. If that's true, bro, you don't have what it takes for the big fights.
Yeah,
you
Ryan
don't have
doesn't have the
mentality.
minerals, man.
That's a weak mentality to have, man, as a boxer. That's one fight before you get into a fight. Before you get into the ring, you're going to start crying and you're going to leave.
Come on, bro. Yeah, like I'm not like I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way or misunderstand it, but it's like really think about it. There's nothing but high level, high tension, high risk situations. And if you're having these issues at this point in your career, what's going to happen the day you got a real big, you may not get to the big fights because your nerves keep fucking with you. I ain't saying that to be fucked up. I'm saying because you said, I walked in the gym to do my sessions and I started crying and I couldn't stop. I'm like, well, all right, bro, you Oliver McCall. Except Oliver McCall.
He did it in the ring.
Yeah.
Do you remember last year, Jay? I think it was Eric Gomez. There was an interview with him. He was actually talking about Frankie Gomez making a return.
Well, really? I mean, listen, bro. We in 2022, right? What's the update on the return, bro?
Well, we haven't heard anything. It's been said.
I was just checking. You know what I mean? Like, I don't got nothing against him, but my point is, okay, Frankie walked away a very long time ago, an unbeaten fighter, and that
After beating Mauricio Herrera, winning every single round, by the way, every round.
And I respect it, but because of the way that he walked away at that time, that kind of tells me that, okay, well, you're not as dedicated as Crawford, because Crawford's still here, and now he's way more accomplished than he was in 2016, and he's still an unbeaten fighter. So that's automatically, I'm gonna edge it to Crawford just off of that alone.
I'll give you my answer that I had in 2016, because I remember when they were speculating that and what I thought would happen. I had Bud knocking Frankie out, because whilst Frankie was very good at boxing, he seemed to be maybe towards a similar level that Bud was at that time, boxing acumen. The separation was Bud had spite, and Frankie couldn't keep people off of him if they were strong enough. His power kind of waned as he went up in level. It showed in the Herrera fight. Whilst he won every round, was because Herrera was too flat-footed to keep with him. So from my eyes, I thought Crawford would have knocked him out in around 8 or 9, because Frankie did get hurt, not dropped, but hurt a couple of times in that Herrera fight and in a couple of fights prior. So I would have had Bud stopping Frankie. Okay, but Frankie was a solid fighter, and he definitely could have been a champion. It's kind of disappointing that he just walked away. I don't know what the issue was. Maybe there was depression. Who knows? But like, whatever it was a bit disappointing because he was a nice fighter.
All right, now let me read the super chat. Feeling Dangerous says, El Vaquero is the best 126-pounder, period. I agree. I think we all agree on that. I'd give Emmanuel, but I think good odds to beat all of these guys. Every single one of them.
Definitely,
Yeah, I don't see much stuff.
My thing would be, because we won't see it, I'll never be able to answer the question, just because I would say Mauricio Lara's in the combo.
He's got a fight. You know, he's got a fight coming up.
Against who?
I don't know. I just saw it. He's fighting on somebody's undercard. I don't know the guy. I don't remember the guy, but I saw it. He has a fight coming up.
Let me have a look.
Like Mauricio Lara should have gotten the title. Mauricio Lara should have gotten the title shot against Kiko instead of Josh Warrington. Now that's.
I mean, I don't
already,
Oh, he's fighting Emilio Sanchez.
Yeah. He's got a fight coming up. Well, this is what I'm gonna say about Lara, though. This is what I'm gonna say about Lara. I know that he beat the shit out of Josh Warrington, and that's all well and good. That
was a savage knockout.
It was, but you got to be real also that you caught Josh at the right time, though. You did. He hadn't fought in how long?
And it was going through a lot of distractions and shit, too. So,
he was about to beat him again until Josh headbutted him in his face.
Disagree. Box watch. I don't disagree with you, but that's after the fact. You see what I mean? After you traumatized them, because like you're not gonna go into that off an ass whooping like that. You're not gonna go in there like you an unbeaten champion and you all in your prime and you on a high. Nah, bro.
Before the fight got stopped from the headbutt, like I was seeing that like it was inevitable that Lara was getting to him and he was gonna do it again. He started landing hard.
Josh started well and stuff, but
listen, and don't get it twisted.
Second round, it was just turning. It was turning.
Kiko might fuck around. Kiko might fuck around and Galahad him, B. You never know, B. Galahad.
Here's the thing. People may be forgetting. Warrington versus Kiko Martinez, the first fight a few years ago, right? Was very fucking close.
Thank you very much. I think personally, I had Kiko winning, but I could see why it went to Warrington. More so because of the upside of Warrington than the actual performance.
So you saying
he's got a better upside than
Warrington? Wait, box watch. So you saying he was up for Barrett?
100%.
Do you know? Do you want to know something?
For Barrett.
I think, to be honest with you, that fight was kind of in a way very similar in terms of scoring, Jay. It was very similar in terms of scoring because you could have preferred the work Warrington was doing on volume, but Kiko had the cleaner, more effective, damaging fucking work in that fight, and you really could have gone with Kiko. You really could. You really could.
Well, you guys are betting on the upset. That's what I hear.
You know something, Jay. This
It's
is what you
possible
said.
because Warrington could be on the slide.
Listen, Jay, you just said a minute ago, right? Warrington, he ain't in his prime. He came off of a knockout defeat. He headbutt to quit in a fight, right? He's gone in there with a dude riding high who hits hard, and his chin could be fucking cracked. He could be mentally depleted. And the last time he fought this dude, maybe he lost.
Listen, remember, I started off with it, yo. Kiko might Galahad him, B. He might,
it's possible.
like, it's possible, like, yo, don't sleep. Now,
in my opinion, Warrington's on the slide.
Yeah. Or he's traumatized because he's not really an old guy, but when you get your fucking ass,
he's gunshot. He's gunshot.
Wait, can I say something? No, he's not old in terms of age, right? But you need to. He's had a lot of max distance fights in his career, and he does have a very attritional fighting style, and that does add up on you and take it out of you a lot quicker.
So you're saying he's like 40 years old, is what you?
I'm saying he's probably. I'm saying that he's probably a young 37.
He does like a young 37.
Real fast.
He does like a pint though. Let's not forget that. He does like
that.
Pint.
That don't help the situation. Liam Roscoe says PBC has fools like Wilder, Gary Russell Jr., Maul, and Harrison stepping over dollars to pick up cents. These guys are getting poor advice and taking it. Yes, they are, because I can't stress this enough. I can't because nobody is saying it, and I'm like, yo, y'all just posted the purses for Russell versus Maxayo. Don't you see that it's half the money he was offered last year? He's the one who said Eddie offered me $1 million. He said that, all right? Not me, not Eddie, not IFL, not Kugan Cassius. He said that. So you sat out all year to fight for half the money the next year.
To lose your belt.
Is it poor advice though, or is it there like some intangibles in these PBC contracts?
My own personal opinion is look, Boxer, my opinion on it is just to be dead ass with you, is all of the fights, the reason they're in-house is because Al Heyman gets a percentage of that TV money every single fucking time without any question. So Al Heyman, that's what I think it is. Al wants the money all the time. No, he don't give a fuck about them making money. It's about him making all of his money.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, none of these guys have got any type of network deal at all. The only one that's got the network deal ain't a PBC fighter. Yeah, and he's just not yet. So therefore, like, if they could fight anywhere, that's one thing. But the other thing is, how are their purses being given to them? Are they getting 100% of their purse at one time?
No. What I'm gonna say is this. So. Never mind the behind the scenes situation, because if you're willing to do interviews where you say that you're not pinned down to the PBC, where you say you're not a PBC fighter, these are Gary's own words, not mine. I'm not paraphrasing. These are literally things that he sat down and told someone that was interviewing him, right? So here are the things that Gary said. I'm not a PBC fighter. I could go where I want. I just do business with Al Heyman, but I'm not a PBC fighter. I could go where I want. That's one. Two, I don't fight more often because I don't want to. I don't want to fight nobodies. Everybody forgot about that quote. I don't want to fight nobody. All right, Gary, you don't want to fight nobodies. All right. I heard you, bro. So I'm going to put all the blame.
And three, he says that in his last fight, he won it 2 rounds to 10 rounds to 2. So the things that Gary Russell says really they just don't resonate with me. I don't really even listen to his interviews anymore because it doesn't make sense.
I made sure to listen to all the spicy details so I know who to blame. And you're a grown man. I am not your publicist. I am not your manager. I don't need to apologize for the decisions that you say you're making. As far as I know, according to Gary, these are Gary's decisions. So, okay, Gary, you chose to sit out for 2 years, so you get the blame. You
chose to turn down a million pound because giving him £1 million, you know, sterling.
Yeah,
that could have been $1.5 in dollars.
So that's like 1.5. Yeah, it is.
And this is the same Gary Russell that wore a T-shirt after the fight, calling out Al Heyman, asking for more fights. Or he was threatening to jump shit jump ship to Top Rank and fight Miguel Burchell. You know what I'm saying?
Making idle threats. For 3 years, Gary Russell Jr. has been making idle threats. Like, oh, if you don't get me to Santa Cruz fight, I'm going to go to Top Rank. I'm going to fight Birdshaw. Bro, all right, so in a nutshell, you have no one to blame but yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're your own worst enemy.
Listen, I'm going to say something, Jay. That concept only exists, right? It only exists to people who actually have common sense. So for you saying the only person you have to blame is yourself, that's not true. Because people like that will always blame everybody fucking else. And they have everybody else to blame because people will allow them to.
Well, he can do that, but here's the thing. Listen, here's the thing, Mark. Here's the thing about a guy like that, right? You can do that conspiracy theory shit, and you can find a couple of people that are going to agree with you, but the rest of the world doesn't give a fuck about you. Period. Oh yeah, you know, you have enablers. You have people that are they're gonna go along with whatever you say. Awesome, bro. They're in the minority of boxing fans, though. The minority, because the majority of boxing fans, they want to see fighters that fight. Now you don't fight, so what the fuck?
There's a lack of access. It's like, look, Gary is a walking contradiction. Like, you know, the whole fucking conspiracy thing. I'm like, I read what Jimmy said on Twitter about the layoff being a did him in and shit. But like, I feel like the way the fight played out, it's like, dude, I don't think stingy punching is winning you rounds. That's the way I look at it. Like, you got hurt, yes. You moved around good, yeah. You know, you fought with one hand, yeah, okay. But where's the sustainable offense?
How do you sustain offense with one hand, Virtuoso?
No, let me say this. Let me say this because ultimately I'm kind of with Virtuoso on this. There's this idea that because you got out of the way of a punch or you got out of the way of some punches, you won the round.
Yeah.
You didn't
I
win the
agree.
round. No, let me finish. You didn't win the round just because you got out of the way of some punches, because you know what? That guy that isn't even as good a boxer as you are, he is throwing more than you are, but he is also landing more than you are. You're not trying to do anything.
He wins by default.
You're just, at some point, there's a fine line between setting a trap to walk a guy into a shot. There's a fine line between doing that and running. Bro, if you're just moving to be moving, you're not setting up anything. You're just trying to get away, period. You don't want to trade with him. You don't want to engage with him in the pocket. You're just moving after a while. And what I saw, he's just moving, bro. Why? Because his hand is hurt. He can't trade with the guy. He can't. Injury or not, you lost.
No,
and despite that, Jules, he had a marginally better performance than Rigondeaux against Casemiro. I'm being
Rigondeaux was fucking.
Can I say this, right?
Fuckers will sit there and call that shit boxing.
I had Mike Sawyer winning. I had him winning comfortably, and it was based off of activity. Here's my thing, right? Whilst Gary is being deluded, I do think people need to give him a little bit of credit for one reason. He put on a hell of a performance without having a jab. And I'm not trying to be funny. Against a guy who pressures with a guard, if you've no jab, you shouldn't be able to land anything. The fact that he was landing anything, even negatively, is impressive. It shows how skilled he is. Because with one hand, he was competitive.
Now I'll say this.
See, the thing is, Gary's skill is not in question.
Yes, exactly. That's why I don't.
We know Gary's got the skills.
Yes,
he just doesn't get out there enough, man. You're not supposed to take that fight with Josh. You're supposed to take that fight, go and rip that belt off of that guy. Now you're unified.
Yeah, look, skill is one thing.
Let me say this. Gary Russell Jr. is like a Ferrari parked up in a garage and not being used for 4 or 5 years. The fuck's the point?
Let me say this, right? Healthy Gary beats that Mixayo.
Yeah,
healthy,
100%.
active Gary, he beats that Mixayo. I take that bet. Why is Gary not active? Because of Gary. So fuck. I'm not impressed with you, Gary.
Ambitious
Even
Gary
Gary
beats
once a year
Maxio.
beats Fat Maxio.
Ambitious Gary beats Maxio.
Right, the time for pitying Gary, that shit been over. As soon as you didn't take that Warrington fight, all the shit about
Yeah,
Leo,
you
I
lost
didn't
it
give
with
a
me.
I didn't give a fuck about none of that shit. Like, bro, you couldn't get Leo for 2-3 years, bro. You just got off of the unification match. You don't take it, so that guy that you didn't want to fight, you didn't want to go over there, so he could end up getting beat by some nondescript guy. You're an idiot.
It's just the key word about Gary's career is depravity. Deprive yourself of the big money. Deprive yourself of access to the fans. You know
Lack of
that thing is like,
ambition.
yeah, lack of ambition. You know, maybe Lomachenko took us so years ago. I don't know.
I don't even think that. I think that Gary's just one of those guys that's bitter.
100. This is what it's
Of
like
course.
bitter or little man syndrome or a bit of both.
All of
You get
it.
what I'm saying?
All
It's
of
all of
it.
that, man. He
All
comes
of it.
across like that so heavily. Like I could
Like
just
Napoleon
it just seeps out his
complex to a
pores. He's just
T.
Napoleon complex. He just thinks everybody hates him, the world's against him. There, Mr. Gary Russell, blah blah blah. Yeah, man.
Listen, right? And I brought this up in the last live that Artur Better Be found a way out because he wanted to find a way out. Daniel Jacobs found a way out because he wanted to find a way out. F.A. Ajagba found a way out because he wanted to find a way out. So if you wanted to be more active and you wanted to get more fights, when the Zone debuted in America, you should have jumped ship because by then you had to know Al Heyman is not giving you Leo Santa Cruz. At that time, you know who they were talking about matching Leo with? Javante Davis. And you still sitting there like a plumb fucking idiot waiting to like at some point you have to take responsibility because these other guys that weren't champions, Daniel Jacobs wasn't a champion when he left. Artur Better Be wasn't a champion. No, he wasn't. He wasn't a champion when he left. F.A. He didn't have a belt, but they made a decision like, yo, dog, I don't like it over here. I don't like what's going on over here. I'm out. You've been sitting there bitching and moaning for years about the shit.
And did nothing.
Inactive fighters
Hey,
have
can I
one
ask a
common
question?
denominator.
What's wrong with these boxers? What's wrong with these PBC boxers that don't get to go out? They fight more than once a year. Some don't
That's
fight
what
two, three
that's it.
times in a year. What's wrong with them? Why don't they
That's
go
the
out? They're
common
boxers. Why aren't
denominator. It's
they
a
active?
PBC thing.
I told you that whole crop of fighters that ended up going over there and came up under that banner, and it's just them. It's not everybody. It's just them. It is just them. That whole crop, they went bad. That's all it is. That whole crop went bad. All of it. Danny Thurman, Gary, it all went bad.
I'm ready for the next phase in the Gary Russell universe. Gary Antoine Russell at 140. I'm almost able to do halves, man.
See, I think Gary should have fought Tank Davis. That would have been a good fight.
No, you know what? Because they didn't. I'm gonna tell you what, country. I think he wanted that fight, right? I think Gary wanted that fight, but Gary was not a priority to Al, and you can see that, bro. Like he didn't give you Davis, right? But he also didn't give you Leo, and y'all in the same goddamn division. He'd rather give Leo to Davis than give you to Davis or give you to Leo.
Why didn't
he
he?
don't care
Why?
about
They're
you,
black,
bro.
so coming to the PBC again, whatever. He's black. Why didn't the two black people get to fight? Why didn't a black promoter put two black people together to fight? Why didn't he put
Black and
Chicano
white.
He knows that
against a
they
black
do
guy?
not sell pay-per-views. That's why.
Exactly.
You understand? He knows that these two guys do not sell pay-per-views.
Let me say something, right? Because I hate when we start to broach that part of the conversation. But the thing is, one, the illusion that black fighters don't sell, that's an illusion. That's bullshit. Black fighters sell. That's so get that one.
No, I'm
let's
saying
get
them
right.
two.
No,
them
I'm
two
not saying
Joshua
no,
Wilder would have
let me finish. Now, who believes that? Do I believe that? No. Does Box Watch believe that? No. You know who believes that? Take a guess.
PB.
They believe that. Literally. It's not that I believe. I know that's not true. Mike Tyson was one. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones, Floyd. Like I don't have to
Muhammad
do
Ali.
that. I don't like that notion that black fighters. That no. Black fighters sell. Don't ever get it twisted. Don't let no one tell you different. So it's not that I believe that or that anybody on this panel believes that. It's that Al Heyman believes that. He believes that. That's why he keeps matching Davis with these nondescript guys, just on the premise that, oh, well, the guy's from south of the border. But that don't make it an electrifying fight just because the guy's from south of the border. That don't mean nothing. You believe, he believes that black fighters don't sell. It's not that somebody else believes that. It's that he believes that. Why did you match Errol Spence Jr. against Mikey Garcia instead of Terrence Crawford?
Yeah, that made no sense whatsoever.
In his mind, no. At the height of that, and I'm telling you right now, I know this in my bones. At the height of that fight's popularity, then it could have done 5. If you would have treated it right, it could have did $1 million. But you believe, Al Heyman believes that shit. It's not that Bob.
Listen, Al Heyman. If Al Heyman is listening, please, I beg you, just do one thing for me. Leave boxing alone. Go to a church and become a preacher, because I know you can bring people in, brother. Go become a preacher.
Hey, Jules, I could tell you one thing, man. The reason Al didn't want that fight with Spence and Crawford is because he'd have ended up losing money the moment Spence lost.
Maybe, but if you're smart, right? If you see this, like, all right, let me put it another way, right? Let's say he would have did the Spence fight years ago, right? Let's say, okay, he does the Spence fight. I still have the other welterweights, Crawford. You still need me beyond Errol Spence Jr. You still need me. I'll give you Thurman. I'll give you Danny. I'll give you Sean. Why? Because once you're done with Top Rank, you'll come to me because I was good to you, because I gave you what you needed. No, you fucking freeze him out, and the whole goddamn division suffers for it. Errol flips a Ferrari and lands on his face. Then his eye almost falls out. Terrence Crawford suing Bob Arum. Who the fuck knows what he's gonna do? Danny,
and then they blame Bob for the Spence fight not happening.
This fucking division's a piece of fucking shit.
It's a piece of shit, bro.
It's gone haywire. It's fit for the toilet right now. As things stand, it's crazy. I don't understand how the whole over that side PBC actually looked at Crawford and said, "You don't mean nothing. You and your belt can go in the bin. We are the dons over here. This is everything. You are absolutely nothing." And then he turns around and sues Bob. That's crazy to me.
That's crazy. How long has Errol's been training to fight?
Can I say something on that?
Hold on, one at a time. One at a time, Dad. One at a time.
I'm gonna say this, man. I think Al Heyman was bitter about that lawsuit about Bob joining in the WBO, but 2 wrongs don't make a right, man. I think he really fucked up by trying to undercut Terry Crawford's value, and then on top of that, he's shorting these fighters' purses, man. That shit is fucked up.
Well, let me say this, right? Al Heyman seems to hold grudges, and I don't mean like in the normal sense of the word, like
angry baby mama grudges.
Yeah, like he act like all right. Let me put it another way, right? The way he do business is not like how you do business. He do business like a bitch. Like, bro, you still mad? Is you trying to get money or you trying to get money? Because Spencer's numbers are down, bro. It's not my imagination. It's not, oh, you a PBC hater. Look at the fucking numbers. 360 with Mikey Garcia. 277. Those are the real numbers. 277 with Sean. 250 with Danny. The numbers are down, bro. It's not my imagination.
A lot of his fans also.
And he couldn't knock out a pudgy lightweight.
All right.
He couldn't knock out a pudgy lightweight.
Well, you know what's crazy?
His fans are waking up, man, and they're not supporting him as much anymore.
Well, also
not supporting him.
Well,
it took him a while, you know.
Well, also it's because he's playing like when you keep hearing the same theme regurgitated, right? You start to realize, okay, the theme that I keep hearing, I don't keep hearing it because it's true. It's because you keep regurgitating it. You and your guys keep saying it. When you hear all these narratives and all these false flags, it's not because it's true. What are you telling me? Like I had an argument with a guy because he was saying Spence and Crawford shouldn't fight because he said don't sell. And I'm like, that's not true. Floyd Mayweather and Shane Mosley sold 1 million pay-per-views. What the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly. That's a bullshit statement.
Sold 1 million. Most people don't like Shane and Floyd, bro. Oh, and Shane, people considered Shane old then. Shane and Floyd sold 1 million pay-per-views. So don't give me that, all right? At the end of the day, the real reason Al don't want to make the fight is because he do business like a scared little bitch. And scared money don't make money.
Yep. Oh, exactly.
That's all that shit is. Like, you scared that he gonna lose. Listen, if you in a business of boxing, you can't look at these fighters the same way that the fans do. You got to realize Spence gonna lose one day. It's just a question of how much money is it gonna make me the day that he does. Don't let him lose on no bullshit, because it can happen. Don't let him lose like, hold on. Don't let him lose like Peter Quillen lost, because he lost on some bullshit. You could have cashed his ass out with Andy Lee. Nah, let me put him in here with Jacobs and make next to nothing. Fucking idiot.
All this shit going on is just evident. Like when Heyman and Schaefer fleeced Golden Boy, when the first option didn't work of getting their own league and getting the belt and monopolizing the sport didn't work, that's when Heyman looked to run a Ponzi scheme. Let me get this fucking money up front, and the long-term goal is to make it look like the PBC failed. And I siphon up all this money.
Yeah, because that's what I really think he's doing, to be honest. Let me read the super chat.
You know that's what he's doing, Jules.
No, I know that. No, listen. I'm convinced, because this is self-sabotaging at this point. You can't honestly be doing this stuff with any expectation to keep business afloat. At this point, I swear to God, it looks like you're trying to fail. It does.
Yeah.
When you put Charles Martin and Luis Ortiz on pay-per-view, bro, you're trying to fail. You are. You about to get up out of here with all this money, file for bankruptcy, so you ain't got to pay nobody nothing. Let me read the super chats. I think Spence is scared of Crawford, like Julius says. Make it make sense. Well, what happens when none of it does? I don't think Al is the reason. I think it's two things. I do think Spence didn't want to fight. I do think that, but I think Al convinced him not to want to fight the same way he convinced Leo not to want the Rigo fight or the Gary Russell fight. He convinces these guys not to pursue these avenues. He does.
Can I ask you one question? Can I ask one more question? How much money do you think?
Real quick. I agree with that, because how the hell did Al Heyman convince Bob Arum and Todd DeBuff to guarantee that fucking money for the second fight? There was no metrics that said that fight was going to get over 2 million pay-per-view buys.
All right. Who's rummaging in their car? All right, now
who's opening a bag of chips?
Now, let me say this: when Wilder, and we know this to be a fact, when Wilder went to see John Skipper and DAZN at the meeting, who went with him? Al Heyman. When they offered him the money, what did the source say? Al Heyman told Wilder, "Oh, that's Mayweather camp money. Don't take that." So I already know off top. I know the sales pitch, bro. You repeat that same shit to all these guys, and they all believe it because of what you did for Floyd. Not realizing Floyd was a generational talent. You don't like him outside the ring. That's fine. I don't give a shit. But he was a generational talent. And the reason that he was able to do as well as he did was because he was a generational talent, not because of fucking Al Heyman. Because if it was Al, okay, where's the next Floyd? Where's the next one?
And that goes to the point. There was no. Remember how we talk a lot about how the next guy passes the torch. Oscar De La Hoya passed it to Floyd. Floyd didn't want to pass it to Keith or anybody, and now there's nobody at PBC to pass it to the next guy.
Well, one thing about PBC though, they're not grooming fighters like one of the Bob's organization. They've been grooming fighters for a long time. I mean, yeah, they got their problems, but I don't see PBC up there grooming fighters.
Well, they don't have.
No.
They don't have.
They're not in the business of grooming fighters.
That wasn't their MO.
Of making money off of fighters.
And let me just say, Bob Arum gave us 2 undisputed fights for free. And we're being charged for Charles Martin and Ortiz.
Well, that wasn't the MO of PBC. The MO was to package it up as a league and sell it. When that was going to happen, when Dana White and Endeavor were going to buy it, they looked at it like, this is bullshit. And
I just want to ask 2 questions to make sense. Sorry for butting in. How much did Al Heyman get for the PBC? 500 million,
$500 million.
300 million. How much did he spend from that?
I'm telling you right. All right,
even
now,
100.
Sawab, I always ask everyone this question. When the PBC was brand new, right? When they first came out, go back to the matchups they were making at that time, and you tell me which one of those matches that they made costed you $500 million. Which one?
No,
You know what cost
name
him
me
$500 million?
overall
The
throughout those all
stage.
years till now. How many matches of them cost you 100 million?
I'm gonna say a
50 million.
conservative estimate. I'm gonna say conservative. Between the two corporate jets they bought, all this, they probably spent maybe about 150, 200, and you're cooking the books to make it look like they spent 4 or 5.
Yes, and it's
Because
so.
you got to spend some. You have to spend some of it.
Look, you could tell, and I don't even. If I'm being real with you, Drew, I don't think they spent 100 million on their bullshit. I seriously don't.
Exactly.
You look at.
I do because
no,
in order
wait.
to
Let me champ the
Go
shit.
ahead.
Let me champ the shit. Go back to Leo Santa Cruz's resume at 2015. Go to Danny's resume at 2015. Thurman's resume at 20. All of them. Go to 2015, 2016, and you tell me if you see $500 million fights, bro. With that kind of money, you could have got King Kong to fight Godzilla at the Barclays. With that kind of money, but who was Danny fighting? Raz Salka.
Julius, I think
Robert
they have
Guerrero.
only spent 50 million. Max, I think they must have spent 50 million, and almost half of it was given to Wilder because Eddie Hearn was on their ass to get him, and Al Heyman was forced to give him 20 million and 20 million again. So I think 40 million was given to Wilder, and 10 has been split
No,
between
a lot of
the
it.
other
Wait. Let me do it. The money that was given to Wilder was not given to him by Al Heyman. It was given to him by Showtime, who foolishly were trying to compete with DAZN that was emerging. DAZN did not have
even worse.
Showtime, like most people got it twisted, like because Showtime has millions of subscribers, that they have millions of boxing fans. No, they don't. They have millions of subscribers, about 35 million, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. But not all of them are boxing fans, because if they were boxing fans, you'd see millions of views for Gary Russell versus Mark Magsayo. You don't see 1 million views for Gary Russell versus Mark Magsayo. So the same applies to their budget. Just because Showtime has money, that doesn't mean they're going to blow it all on boxing. But they tried to, quite foolishly, when they gave Deontay Wilder a care package to reject DAZN's offer. DAZN offered this man $100 million to join up with them and $20 million for a Brazil fight, right? So what does Showtime do? No, we're going to do that fight. We ain't going to give you 20, but we'll give you like 13 or 14. You dumb fucks. You just blew through your boxing budget. So that the very next fight, Wilder ends up on Fox. And y'all end up looking like dickheads.
I'm going to tell you where most of the money went. And it wasn't on the fighters. It was on the time buys. It went to CBS, it went to NBC, it went to Fox, it went to Spike, it went to Bounce. When Al was buying up all the network time with no advertising dollars and papering the stadium and papering the arenas and all the operational costs to do that, that's where most of the money went.
Bruh, if he bought all them slots without bringing in advertising revenue, I don't know what Harvard he graduated from. That's all I'm saying.
No, he graduated, Jules, and you know this. He graduated from the Harvard. Once he saw the business model wasn't going to work, he's like, okay, how do I rip this off? And that's what they teach you at Harvard.
But any two-bit thief on the corner of any major city in America could have come up with that. Like, you know what? Let me just cook these books. Let me just cook these books, and I'm going to keep them whatever's left. You know what I mean? Because hold on. You did get an annual budget from Showtime. You did get an annual budget from Fox. I don't believe that he spent all the money from the initial 500 million. I believe he has a sizable portion of it somewhere, and he just fudged the numbers to make it look like he spent it. That's what I believe.
No, yeah. They were doing time buys for about 3 years.
Please, the LDBC. I have one message to the LDBC and the PBC lovers.
You got to spend some of it. You got to spend some of it to cook it. So Even if he
Yeah.
only spends 100, there's 300-400 left.
Bro, not $500 million, bro. That is too much
he only
money.
spent. I'm saying he only spent about 100 between all the time buys, the fighter purses, the corporate jets.
Bro, you
paying off
could have started the zone before there was the zone with the fucking budget that you had.
Exactly.
Bro.
That's what I was just gonna say. Listen,
And he
the
burned right through
LDBC,
it.
the BBC lovers. I'm gonna through Ring IQ. I want to pass a message on to you. When you see Al Heyman, please ask him this question. You had 500 million. What the fuck did you do with it? You could have done so much for your own people, quote unquote, your own people. Why didn't you do it? You
Listen,
fucking scammer.
let me elevate
that, Jules.
Let me elevate your consciousness. Hold on. Let me elevate your consciousness, right? What you just mentioned at that level is nothing but a sales pitch that these morons on our level eat it up. That's not what none of this is about. Al stole the bread, period, because at that level, it's not about this. It's about this, all right? Now, these morons with YouTube channels, they eat it up because they get a little bit of beer money from spreading that bullshit. But at the end of the day, it was never about giving opportunities back to our people or your. It was never about that shit, bro. Can't you see that? Leo got a bigger guarantee than Davis. So what the fuck does that tell you?
Kelly Swanson, Shelly Finkel. Look at all the people that he works with behind the scenes. What they look like.
Tom Brown.
From what I'm
Samson
hearing, right?
Lepkowitz.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, it's like it reminds me of a Simpsons episode about Marge and the monorail, where this carnival bucker came to the Springfield City Council and basically hustled them into putting all that budget into a fucking monorail, and then he know about the fucking next city over. They got fucked over. Exactly. That's what it was.
Monorail. That's all it is. And that's
a funny ass episode.
Like, people at that level, they're looking for the next way to rip off money. And once the scandal happens and like, damn, they followed everything up to code, that's when the tax laws and the accounting laws change. That's why those laws change every year and there's new codes because people are ripping off every year.
Let me deal with hold on, wait. Let me deal with Danny. Okay, you talking about 135 pounder versus 135 pounder. When Bud fought Yuriorkis Gamboa, they were both lightweights. When Mikey fought Spence, he was a lightweight who jumped up 2 divisions for a welterweight, and not even a regular size welterweight, a big welterweight who's supposed to be a monster puncher. You cannot compare that. Gamboa didn't jump up 2 weight classes for Crawford. He was literally already there. He fought Darlise Perez as his first fight at 135, and he already had a year at 135 when he fought Crawford. How many fights did Mikey have at 147 before he fought Spence?
Yo, can I say something?
I can't
Danny?
get past the part
Danny,
where it says
can you
Mikey's
get your fucking Macklemore looking ass out of here?
Judas, I'll leave my spot for him. Bring him on. Send him the link. Bring him on. I'll leave my spot for him.
Like, come on, man.
I just can't believe he said Mikey's a big puncher with an elite chin. I don't.
Hey, yo, when his rap career wasn't working, he came here.
Jules, didn't you do a relay video, Jules, where you exposed like Mikey's never beat nobody elite?
Nah.
Really?
Was Rob? No, think about it. Dejan's Latijanine had the WBC for 10 seconds.
Danny, click the link. Click the link. I'll leave the spot for you.
Robert Easter. Are you kidding me? Robert fucking Easter. Sergey Lipinets.
I'm gonna steal pay-per-views. I only got $20 in my pocket.
Seriously? The fuck?
Watch this though. Listen to this though.
What you said. Chris, you gotta drop. We posted the link for the other guy, Chris. Let the other guy join, Chris. We got like 10 people up here already.
Yeah, what I was trying to say, when you're saying I was convincing fighters not to take this fight, convincing, man, that's just basically showing you the character of the boxers these days. What do you mean you're convincing? I look at it like this, right? Boom. They've said this is what we're offering you, and he said to Wilder, that's Floyd's camp money. Yeah. Wilder's supposed to turn around and say, okay, cool, is that the fact? All right, cool. So that means you man could offer them a contract then, because the fact is I want this fight. So get me this fight. They're offering me that.
You doing what
you're
I did
not
with
offering me. So they're offering me that. You're telling me don't take that. Okay, cool. You make the fight then, because obviously you can do it. If you can tell me to turn down 120 mil for 3 fights, yeah, you can make something pop. So let's go. And the next thing as well, watch this. If let's put 2 fighters on different platforms. Let's take Bud, put him on PBC, take Errol, and put him on Top Rank. Are you telling me that Al could tell Bud, nah, don't take that fight? Would he be able to tell Bud that?
Let me champ the shit. Let me champ the shit. Jose Severino, you got to drop off, bro, because I need Danny to join.
I'll jump off.
Spence has speed, power, come forward, counter punching, boxer, puncher, awkward, hard to hit, blah, 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 bling, 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 blah. What the fuck does any of that have to do with what I just said? You compared Crawford versus Gamboa, 2 lightweights, to Spence versus Mikey Garcia, a lightweight versus a welterweight. I didn't ask you for your anecdotes about Errol Spence Jr. You know what Errol Spence Jr. is? He's a guy who sat out all of last year. He don't sound too solid to me, because if he was solid, he wouldn't have sat out all last year. I don't need to hear the bullshit. Why did you compare 2 lightweights? Because that's what they were. They were both at 135. Gamboa didn't move up to fight Crawford. He was already there. He fought unbeaten Darlise Perez the year before he fought Crawford. He already had a fight at 135. What fight did Mikey have at 147 before Errol? What fight? Why didn't that Mikey fight Gamboa? Because that was a thing, boxing fan.
Yo, Danny, why didn't Mikey fight Crawford at 140? Why did he wait for Crawford to go to 147 before he went up to 140 to get a vacant belt?
Peep game, because he doesn't know this. Before Mikey Garcia was released from his top-ranked contract, he was offered a Terrence Crawford fight. Why didn't he take it?
Is he even on?
And another thing, Danny, you act like Triple G didn't almost kill fucking Kell Brook the fight before. Could have killed him. Fuck out of here.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I got all sorts of fun questions. Why did Mikey say, nah, I don't want to fight Crawford because he's gonna move around? That was in 2018. I'm not gonna fight Crawford because he gonna move around and punch. What, he's supposed to stand there and make it easy for you?
And the funny thing, Jules, Crawford's like, Crawford told Mikey, hey, release the amateur
and he got
footage.
a belt. Then it was, I can go fight Sean Porter. You know?
Yeah, no, Crawford even said around that time, yo, Mikey, release the amateur footage when I beat your ass.
Like you like, I'm sorry, Macklemore, but nah, bro. Nah. You wildin'. You're not going to sell that bullshit over here. I know a lot more about that situation than you do. Don't give me the eye test, because Errol only has one eye for you to test. Fuck out of here, B. The fuck?
And then to top it off, Spence's lifestyle outside the ring, he ain't committed to boxing as much as he should be. I mean,
it's like a parrot from the Caribbean.
You have a guy who 3 or 4 years ago sat on a podium and said, I'm not going to ESPN. He knew Crawford was under contract and says, no, he got to come to me. You know he can't come to you.
Across the street. Crawford got to come to the street. I'm not going to ESPN.
I asked you, listen, I answered the guy saying a lightweight rocked Spence. So I pointed out it was a 5'3" Gamboa. Crawford is, Gamboa rocked 5'11" Spence. And what did Mikey weigh at 147? Spence beat Kell, IBF, Unified IBF, WBC, now WBA. Was that before or after Gennady Golovkin broke his face?
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm just curious. Let me do this because I got a lot of energy and I got a lot of time. Was that before or after when Errol traveled to Sheffield? Who did Kell Brook fight right before that?
Gennady Triple G Golovkin.
Rhetorical question, bro.
Yeah.
Didn't the doctors have to go in his gums to fix his eye? And that's what you high on? That's what you high on? Oh,
Danny,
no,
why
no,
are you
no, no. You
typing?
hot.
Why are
You
you
hot.
typing?
You
Come on,
hot.
you got the link. Come and talk.
Yeah, click the link, bro. Click the link. Errol Spence Jr. said after the Mikey Garcia fight that I guess you saw, but you must have missed the press conference, he tried to go for the stoppage 2 times and couldn't get it. You know Rocky Martinez dropped Mikey Garcia. You know that, right? No, Rocky fucking Martinez, bro. He dropped Mikey Garcia. Errol could not. Errol,
what?
Exactly.
Big Errol landed 360 something punches on Mikey and ain't even hurt his feelings.
Why didn't Mikey fight Loma that was in his own weight class?
I was just thinking the same fucking thing.
147. I mean, you know, that was the elite fight right there. You know?
That was the elite fight that went away.
Let me post the link again, man, because Eson clicked the link and Jose clicked the link, but I want Danny to click the link. You're not going to sell that propaganda around here, man.
Errol Spence got his ass beat by Enzo Ferrari and hasn't been the same since.
Man, this is the problem with these people who just come here, just talk shit, or people post YouTube videos, they come do a drive-by.
Let me tell you, Sawab, this guy, right? I said in the build-up of the Maxayo fight that Gary gonna fuck around and get his ass beat. This guy, Danny Lawler, he left an essay on that video that he has since deleted, and he thinks I forgot. I saw it, bro. I saw Gary is this. Gary. And he fucking lost, didn't he? I said this guy is gonna fuck around and lose the Mark Maxayo and fuck around. Mark gonna end up fighting Leo. I said that right before the fight, the video before the fight.
Hey, yo, Julius.
And this Danny, this guy, I saw your comment before you deleted it because I got the notification and I was gonna go to respond to it and I couldn't find it, which can only mean you deleted it.
Yo, Julius, when did Al Heyman started managing Macklemore?
Yo,
looks like, bro, dead ass.
No, because guys like this kill me because in here, you know you're wrong and you just want to argue. I don't care why you like Spence so much. Nothing I said is an opinion. Everything I said is a fact. Literally everything. Errol on the podium after the fight said I went for the stoppage 2 times in the fight, but I couldn't get him out of there. That's what he said. That's your man. Why
Danny,
no?
Danny, we don't care if you go and suck his dick, Spence. We don't mind.
You brought up Gamboa and Crawford. Crawford stopped Gamboa.
Yep.
He stopped Gamboa since you
when
brought
Gamboa
him up.
was undefeated and still
Crawford
a decent
will
fighter.
smoke Mikey Garcia at 147, lay him out.
Crawford dropped Gamboa by 2-3 times. How many times did Errol drop Mikey?
0.
None.
Don't answer for him. Don't make it easy. How many times did Errol drop? I know Rocky Martinez dropped him before. I saw that fight. Rocky dropped him before. How many times did Errol the Tooth Spence drop Mikey Garcia?
Errol the Tooth.
Because he hit him over 300 times.
Hey, yo, Danny, riddle me this. When was the last time there was a man down?
Yeah. I want to know. He's got the speed and the power and the combinations and all of that. When the last time it was a man down? Did y'all give up on that hashtag? Y'all gave up on that dream? Biggest fucking hype job in boxing next to Wilder.
Yeah. Yep.
Man was down in his bed, bruv. That's what it was. That's what he's getting the man down. People like Danny, that's what he wants to be, the next man down in his bed.
I need to know, bro. I'm not
strap-on season.
None of this shit. Listen, none of this shit you hear me saying is anecdotes. Everything I'm saying is a quantifiable fact. Errol landed over 300 punches on Mikey Garcia. Not one knockdown scored. Rocky Martinez dropped his ass before he even went up to welterweight. He dropped his ass. All right, that's Box Watch. Danny, click the link, bro.
He won't, man. They won't. People like Dane, people like Bruce.
He don't want the smoke.
Click the link, bro. I'm talking boxing. I ain't talking Anik. I'm talking boxing, yo.
He don't want.
Okay, look, I got another question for Danny. How old was Errol in 2015?
Bro, how old is he now? I got a question. Is he a 3-division champion yet?
No.
Nope.
Is he undisputed yet?
Nope.
Because he told me. Now listen. He brought up, not me. Errol he got the IBF and the WBC, and he about to have the W. Oh, so he's catching up to Crawford, in other words, because Crawford already did that. As far as getting all the belts in a division, yeah, Crawford already did that. He did that like 3 years ago, bro.
You guys know what my favorite excuse is when they bring up Mikey? Errol just wanted to show he wanted to box. So he waited till he fought a blown up lightweight to show the world he could box. Really? That's when he waited to show the world he could box. He's not going to show the world he could box against
fucking
Brook.
Subtracted 10 years.
Kell Brook? He's not
That's when you choose to be in the pocket and box.
No. You didn't want to show the world you could box with Sean Portier? Why not with Sean Portier? Now, mute your mics. I'm going to let Sean hit me more because this is fact. I'm going to let Sean Porter hit me more than I've ever been hit to show people how good a boxer.
But when Triple G did that, he was exposed.
Yeah.
It don't make sense. Yeah, I know that.
No, these clowns don't make sense.
It don't make sense. I'm gonna let Sean crowd me and push me around and hit me. I'm gonna let him land this overhand left. Was it an overhand left or a right? That he landed right here on Errol, and Errol was woozy. It's like, yo, dog, I don't know what y'all like about that dude so much. I don't hate him, but I'm talking facts, bro. He did get hit more by Sean than he's ever been hit by any other fighter in any other fight. That is a statistical fact. Why would you let him hit you that much? So you could box with a lightweight? Mm-hmm. Well, let me box the lightweight, and I'm a let myself get lumped up by Sean Porter. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Danny, click the link. Danny, click the link, and I'll send you flowers to take on your date with Spence this weekend. Spence, yo, listen. I said it. Spence,
I'll buy you a dress. I'll buy you a dress from Amazon.
I got a question for Danny. Hey, Danny, how many times did Errol flip his Ferrari in that car crash?
More times than he knocked down Mikey Garcia.
Mate, Danny wants to be rolled around in bed the same amount of time the Ferrari rolls.
Oh, damn, you went there.
Because it has to. Look, this shit. If you love Spence, listen. If you love Spence, I'm not gonna hold you. That's your prerogative as a boxing fan. You can like whoever you like, but don't come in here trying to preach to me about some shit. I know what I saw him say. Crawford asked him, yo, da. Errol says Al gave me 4 names. Gave me Mikey Gersha, Manny Pacquiao, Queef Thurman, and Sean Porter. That's what he said. And then Bud said, he didn't give you my name? He said, no.
He didn't give you my name, exactly. Yep.
No, he didn't. That's out of his mouth. So when I say that, don't fucking come over here arguing with me. I'm talking verbatim. What are you? He had speed, power, hard.
Yeah. We all have favorite fighters.
And Bob Arum was standing right there.
I love Dillian White. Yeah.
You know, I went back to that video and I'm still looking for comments saying that, yo, I cannot wait to see Errol Spence versus Dennis Ugas.
Yo.
You sounded like you were describing a Power Ranger.
Yeah! Go Errol Rangers! is retarded out here. When he
Bob
fucking
Aaron, short on.
go Arrow Rangers. One-Eye Arrow Ranger. Arrow Ranger, go.
Julius, another thing I want to add. That listen, we all got favorite
Oh my
fighters.
god,
I
you
love
got me
AJ.
crying, bro.
I love Dillian White. You know, we all got our favorite fighters. I like Crawford, but we will stick it on them if they do something wrong.
Yeah.
I stuck I think on AJ for not fighting for trying to box Usyk. We gave them, you know what I mean. If he took the step aside money, bro, I would hate that guy till the end of death. I wouldn't support him anymore.
Now I'm gonna say this, Sawab. Here's what Danny doesn't realize, right? I was an Errol Spence Jr. fan. Go to the videos I posted in 2017. I was an Errol Spence Jr. fan until this bullshit started. That's when I stopped being a fan. Like, bro, I thought you was when Errol was coming up, bro. I was high on that dude, man. I was like, yo, this fucking guy, man, this guy's crazy, man. He gonna beat the shit out of Thurman. I was high on him and all of that.
Fury fan.
Yo, Julius, that's how I was
I
with
adored Fury, man. The way he acted, the way he behaved when he defeated Klitschko. But then after that, when he came back, I still supported him even when he faced Wilder. But now the bitchiness that he's doing when it comes to with AJ, when it comes to the undisputed in Saudi Arabia, what they fucked up there. Now he's doing the same thing with Dillian White. I ain't gonna support Fury. No matter how much I love him, I don't want to get in there with
Go
it.
Arrow Ranger!
So Juan, it's funny that you mentioned undisputed because I had aerosexuals on Twitter basically saying like, oh, we're gonna say the butt fight for last for undisputed. Let me ask you something. The biggest fight in welterweight the last 10 years, right? Or the last 20, it was I would say like Mayweather versus Pacquiao, right? Did anyone give a shit that it wasn't for undisputed?
No.
Nobody cares.
No.
Virtuoso. Pay attention. Go Arrow Ranger!
Yo, Jules. What I wanted to say was, Jules, the same way, like how you felt about Errol Spence on his when he was coming up was the same way I felt about Keith Thurman when he was coming up.
Same.
I liked him. I liked the dude, and then look at him now. I'm like, yo, come on, man.
Yo, I swear, same shit because I was you could. I don't tell lies, bro. Go to the videos I did in 2017 about the welterweight division. I was high on Keith. I was high on Errol. I was backing those guys. And the bullshit started. And I'm not like, bro, I'm a boxing fan, bro. I'm not a man fan.
And I was high on Gervonta Davis after with the Pedraza fight.
Same. I said, like, yo,
same.
I said, yo, this kid is gonna be the shit after the
Pedraza this kid is fight. Going places. That's what I was saying. Like, this kid is gonna go places.
When the bullshit started, I'm like, yo, I gotta get off of this train, bro. Like, the fuck? You don't want to fight shit. You don't want to fight shit.
I've been off that train since 2018, man.
So go Arrow Ranger!
But this is what I'm saying about Crawford. Crawford actually wants to have these fights, right? So if he was over there on the PBC, and Errol was over there on Top Rank, would they really be able to convince Bud not to have that fight? Like how they've convinced? Because for me now, I'm looking at these guys over there on that PBC roster, and they're just, for me, like a bunch of children that can't think for themselves. And don't have, they don't have no drive to be the best.
None.
I want to be the best in my weight class, and then I'll go up and I'll beat them up there as well. In my opinion, I think Crawford at this point, he beats everyone up to 160 right now.
Let me tell you something.
That's how I feel.
Now, this is what I'm going to say, right? If you let Terrence Crawford get you could put Danny, Sean, Errol, and Keith in the same ring at the same time with Terrence Crawford. He'll beat all of them. Whoop they whole all of them. All of them.
Royal Rumble.
Terrence Crawford is Achilles. I've been saying it for 3 years. Y'all know the story of Achilles. He was blessed by the gods with skills and That's Crawford, bro.
Right
That's
now,
Crawford.
100%. That's what, like, you see what Mark was saying earlier about the spite that he has. He's got that spite, but he's also got a cerebralness about him as well.
Fucking
So
Achilles, bro.
The dude already
the amount of
unified
nuances that
140
this
before
guy's
moving
got,
to welterweight.
he beats
man.
up everybody right now.
All them guys. And I'm gonna
He's
tell you
talented.
what. It's a difference. See, Hector was like a Keith Thurman, right? Y'all seen Troy with Brad Pitt and Eric Bana, right? Y'all seen that movie?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
All right, now let me tell you, right? Hector is every other welterweight not named Crawford. Crawford is Achilles. Hector! Hector!
I swear to you, that's so right. You know, that analogy is on point right there.
That's Crawford, all right? That's him, all right? This lawsuit is the cousin that he's fucking. Remember in Achilles in Troy, he's fucking the cousin? That's the lawsuit. He's fucking, and it's fucking everything up. That's what
that's what it
is.
is. It's messing it up because that's spoiling everything that I love about Terence Crawford. This bloody stupid lawsuit shit.
But pound for pound, shield for shield, sword for sword, punch for punch, Crawford will wipe his whole ass with every welterweight the PBC has.
Hey,
Every
Julius,
single
coming
one.
back to this
And
case,
154 as well, though.
let me just add. I watched that whole 4 hours with Beats and Rhymes. I love Beats. I watch his videos. I respect him. He's from the UK. Big up. But why is he so hurt over Bob Arum? I don't get it.
Because look,
whatever he
Old
said
school.
did not make
let me
any sense to me.
no.
bro.
Some
I'm
old
gonna say
school
this.
stuff in
No.
there as well.
I'm gonna say this. Look, I understand where Beats is coming from because he
100%.
he as an individual has a different perspective than I'm gonna have, and I understand that. When you see someone like Bob and you see the way that he carries himself, it is very easy to jump to those conclusions. It is.
You're gonna feel some kind of way.
You are gonna feel, and I acknowledge that and I sympathize, but I don't agree. Why? Because the other day I said I don't like Jamal Charlo. Now y'all know on this channel I like Mel. I'm big on Mel. I'm not big on Maul, right? So because I said I'm not big on Maul and he sucks, and I said Canelo will beat the shit out of him. Which now I got a question. Just all of y'all answer me at the same time. Would y'all pick Canelo to beat Jamal Charlo?
Yeah,
Of course. Knock him out.
of course.
Right?
In a heartbeat.
Now, peep what I gotta go through. Because I said that I don't like Jamal. I think he sucks. And I think Canelo would knock him out. Somebody gonna call me out of my name. Out of my name. Because I said that. So when I go through that and then I see what's going on with Bob, I'm like, I need to see the Carfax. That's all I'm saying. If you got proof, okay, come out with it.
Canelo will floss his.
Listen, Julius, I'm not saying.
Now let me champ the shit. Now
I'm
wait,
not
let me
saying-
champ the shit. When you live in an environment where people have the audacity to accuse you of bigotry because you don't pick who they want you to pick in a fight, something is wrong. All right? Something is wrong.
Yeah, something.
Listen,
Yeah,
I can
something
say
is
about
definitely
Beats,
fishy.
I can say about Beats. I think he sound. I don't know how old he is. From the way he sounds, he does sound a little old. I think in his 50s, 40s, if I'm not wrong. Probably he has gone through a lot. Likewise, at my age, I'm only 25. I've gone through a lot of stuff as well.
No, I mean,
racially, Islamically, whatever my religion, I've been a thing, but that does not mean. So now I'm just gonna think in that perspective that okay, as a black man, okay, as a white man, now I'm gonna stop putting Bob Arum, he's racist.
Thing is all about.
I'm not saying he's not, but we don't know. You need evidence. You need
Oh,
proof. That's what
my
I'm
whole
saying.
thing is this. Look.
You need
I
legitimate
said
proof.
this. I said this over and over. I'm gonna say it again. What Bob Arum says behind closed doors, I don't know. I'm not with him behind closed doors. But guess what? This is not about what Bob says behind closed doors. This is about how Crawford was promoted. And to that effect, Bob wasn't the problem. Errol wasn't trying to fight this guy. Period. They made Danny an offer. Danny didn't take it. They made Thurman an offer. Thurman didn't take it. And was that exclusive to Terence Crawford? No, it wasn't. Because in 2015 and 2016, Adrian Broner was offered the Pacquiao fight, and he didn't take it. Danny was offered the Pacquiao fight, and he didn't take it. So the situation doesn't suddenly change. because of Bob Arum. When guys are rejecting a Pacquiao fight, and I will pull up the shit. Danny said, I got to get what Pacquiao gets. You think you can make fights with these people?
Oh my god!
And this is why I can't. I understand Beats' angle, and I understand that he has been looking deep into boxing from probably the early 90s, probably the late 80s, mid 80s, probably been looking deep into sides of boxing that I only look into since probably 2015. Because before that, I was just a pure fan, just watching. I didn't care about looking into things. I just wanted to see the fights happening and just watch the fight. But since 2015, I started looking at things like, why aren't fights happening, and start looking into other things. But I can understand where Beats has been that type of guy from early out, so he knows a few things that I would never know. The only thing for me that I can say, Terence needs to just allow it, because when I'm looking at the pandemic situation, and he made sure he got his contracted minimum. He weren't taking no pay cuts, and Bob never argued with that. They made sure he got paid. He got paid his money. And then when you had a chance, before that as well, when you had a chance to not sign back with Bob, you signed back with Bob, and you've got he made sure that, I don't know if he made sure, but you've got your ESPN contract as well. So you've got a contracted minimum from ESPN. You've got another contract with Bob where you're getting your top rank money as well, bro. You're getting paid, bro. I can't say that Bob's handling you whole.
Brian McIntyre, Bo McIntyre, he said when they signed that ESPN deal, he was elated. All right. I would have to be lying to you to say that Top Rank mistreated Crawford. The only thing that needs to happen is let the case go on. Let Crawford present his evidence of the mistreatment if the evidence exists. But I know that as far as the other stuff, that they didn't promote him, that's bullshit.
Exactly. Julius, respectfully, it's not the 1980s anymore. It's not the 1990s anymore. Every single person has a phone. They can record shit. Nowadays, back in the days, we would believe it's just like that, because that was what was happening back in the days. But it's not. Respectfully,
it's probably still happening now.
Right now.
It's probably still happening.
I get it. It's happening.
I'm not saying.
Listen, let me clear the air, right? Let me clear the air. All right. Is it happening? 100%, absolutely, positively. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I've seen it, bro. I've seen guys that deserve a position don't get it, and instead they'll end up training their successor instead of. I've seen that over. You want to talk about systemic? That's systemic, and I've seen that over and over at my job, and my wife's job, a lot of places, right? So. But we're not talking about that.
Exactly. We're talking about Crawford. Did it happen to Crawford?
So when Crawford don't get a Spence fight, are we now supposed to turn around and say, oh, Bob fucked it up? Bob.
Hey, Jules, Danny's back. It's full.
I can't listen.
All right, let me read this. Let me read this. I know a real when I see and hear one of these dudes are mushrooms. I can support who I want, when I want. I have my opinion. And listen, follow the sheep all you want. I actually watch fights, full fights. Go Power Danny! Go Power Danny! Watch who he was, full fights.
You don't have to show us the light about voice. Danny, show us the light. We want to see the light. Please show us the light. Bring us what's on your mind. We want to hear it. I can't read. I'm illiterate. I want to hear it from your voice. Please come join the panel.
That crying voice so fit the writing that was there, but that was crazy, bro. I don't know.
Bring us to light, brother.
Love is love. I love you, Yo, if he fucking lose to Ugas, can somebody check on Danny? I'm being serious. If Aaron loses,
somebody have to check on Danny. Oh shit.
Somebody check on.
But listen, quickly, go back to the 140 thing.
You're trying to tell me who the love box was.
Let's quickly go back to that 140 situation. Sorry to change it. You lot was talking about Regis, my Donny Rougarou, yeah? Okay, so he said he still wants to fight at 140, yeah? So he must have had some sort of plan then. Like, what's he gonna do? Because one thing, did you not see him, Bud, and Josh Taylor in Dubai, and Bud just badding up everybody? I don't know what Regis' wife must have said to Bud, but Bud was like, "Ask your husband what I told him. I'll knock his ass out." Right in front of Regis. And
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Box Watch. Let me tell you something. I saw it, right? And I'm not, look, I'm trained. Nobody say nothing. Trained by the CIA to look for fear. If you go back and you watch that video where they're by the balcony, Terrence Crawford is to the left of the screen, Regis is on the right. If you look at Regis, don't even look at Crawford. Don't look at Crawford. This is what they teach us. Watch them separately. Watch them separately.
I've done the same thing.
I saw fear. You do, and listen. It's okay. I'm scared of Crawford.
Right.
I wouldn't talk.
Listen, I saw fear in Josh as well. I saw fear in Josh as well. That man, they looking in Terrence's eyes.
Can I just say this real quick?
This guy is actually not
Terrence
normal.
is the dragon, bro.
Let me say this real
dragon.
Quick. Tommy Hearns would be going through the same thing Bud would be going through in today's boxing.
Yeah,
for real,
easily.
Yeah.
Easily. Sugar too.
Yeah.
In this environment, Sugar don't get to be great. Fights. Sugar don't get to be great in this environment because these guys, Sugar and Tommy was fighters, bro. Even Oscar, for all his fishnets and all his cocaine, bro, hate him or love him, that man was a fighter, bro. He fought everybody, bro.
Even though he looked like a bitch, he was no bitch.
Say this. You think that Keith Thurman would have went the middleweight and fought Hernard Bopkins? No. Crazy. That man won't go to 54 and fight a Tim Tszyu. You think he would have fought Hernard Bopkins? No.
Bro, I think the way it looks like Crawford, it looks like Sonny Liston to me. People are afraid of him. Not when Muhammad Ali beat him twice, but after, people were scared of Sonny Liston. I saw a documentary on him. Wow, it blew me away. You know, the mafia behind him, and there people were shit scared.
Listen, man.
I think that's the same thing what's happening with Crawford.
Look in the book. Listen. In the book of Revelations, chapter 6, verse 7, they talk about a dragon. That dragon is Terrence Crawford.
Another guy that you saw fear in his eyes when he looked Bud straight in the eyes, yeah? Another time when because I'm telling you this, I was big on Errol Spence Jr. myself. I was big on him, yeah? Bundu, all the fights before, I was like, damn, this guy's going to be strap season, yeah. I want my straps. But as soon as he got face-to-face with Bud, face-to-face, remember? Red tracksuit.
I'm going to give you Box Watch. I'm going to give you another one. When Adrian Broner spent a lot of time saying things about Manny Pacquiao. And when he got in front of him, once again, I'm trained by the CIA to look for this. All the air left Adrian's lungs when he was actually faced with Manny. Now, Manny is the storm. And you saw Manny just going to smile and be Manny. Yes, I like box. Yes, I like box.
Before the storm.
Yes, box is good. Box. Philippines, I like box. Yes.
I believe in God.
Because he knows in here, I am going to beat the fucking shit out of you when we get in. I don't got to do nothing now. I don't have to do shit now. I don't even have to speak English now. Yes, I like box. Yes, I president. Yes. When that opening bell rings, your ass is grass, right?
Hey,
and I saw the fear. I saw the fear. Like, yo, you could talk. Talk, Adrian.
I never seen Adrian Broner moonwalk so much, man.
Hey, Jules, let me say this to Danny real quick. Hey, Danny, nobody said you couldn't support who you want to. You do you, bruh. You just came on here saying some whack stuff, and you got questioned on it. That's all it is.
Country. Did I go to him or did he come to me?
He came to us.
Listen, no matter what boxer
He's
I'm
got
hot
a
on at the
comment in the
moment,
chat right now. He's talking about
no matter what, like, because the other day I was hot on Belanga. I was like, "Ah, this guy's slapping up guys. I like it. I like it. This is a good look." But then you see the flaws and you see, and you're like, okay, now I need to see how he's
Watch.
gonna do.
I have to stop you because Danny's
Go on.
if Spence loses, he loses. He's fighting a champion. Well, bud, you are funny though. But I form my own opinion and I express it by mocking a man crashing. It's just sick. Do you get it? You human man.
You see, Danny, we're not making fun of Spence. We're making fun of you and your bitch ass.
Yo, that is on some Bobby Boucher Waterboy shit.
I'm gonna tell I got some shit. I got some shit. Now check it. It's not if Spence loses, he loses. That's not the way it works. If Spence loses, Terrence Crawford is still a champion. But if Spence loses, he's not a champion. If Spence loses, Terrence Crawford remains a 3-division, 2-time Ring Magazine, 2-time lineal, undisputed, 3-division champion. That's what it is. What Errol is trying to do now, Bud did that already.
He been there and done that.
And he can, listen, here's the best part. He can beat Ugas. Will he be lineal in this division? No. Will he be Ring Magazine in this division? No.
No.
Terrence Crawford.
Listen, that's my guy, you know. I can't lie. I've rated Errol Spence from the beginning when he fought over here in the Olympics. I was like, "Raw, this guy's gonna be a nice little pro," you know. And then I start watching him, and 3-4 fights in, he had the incident with Floyd. I was like, "This might be the guy." But you know what happened? Everybody, he ain't got no bottle, brother. He ain't got it in him. He ain't got the eye of the tiger. He does not want to be who he said he wants to be. And that's when I had to say, you know what? I gotta allow you, bro.
I wanna go to my horses and things, and I'm gonna ride on my ranch and horses and things, and ride on my ranch and horses and things.
I don't fight on TV. I
don't fight on ESPN.
You would never, ever hear Hagler say shit like that.
Terrence Crawford got to come across the street. He got to come to ESPN Showtime at 5.
It was him that brought that fucking to the discourse. That fucking
goes like this.
I'm the
Terrence Crawford gotta come across the street. Terrence Crawford gotta come across the street.
I've never heard that before. Errol Spence said that.
You know he was on the bottle when he subtracted 10 years from his age in 2015.
So they shouldn't fight and stay a champion? The point of boxing is to fight and not talk. Then why is Errol not fighting Terrence Crawford?
Yeah.
If the point of boxing is to box and not talk. Wait a minute, I'm not done. Have you ever been punched in the head? Come to Manchester King in the ring. MCR, as for me, I'll drive straight over.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Go Danny Ranger.
Errol Spence is better than Terrence Crawford because of medulla oblongata.
Brother, Danny, you sound like the leave Brittany alone guy.
Let me tell you something. If you ever get to the point where someone online has made you so mad that you start threatening people, it's time to get offline. Because we're just going to...
It's like you type it and then you actually send it as well. Like, wow.
You fucking hate Errol. I'm gonna destroy you.
Bro, Julius, he's asking you to come to Manchester, but he won't come online here to have a conversation.
Man saying come to Manchester.
This is.
Won't come online.
I'm gonna tell you something. I swear to God, I'm gonna recommend Sawab to work with my people because he's really fucking quick. He is so quick. Did y'all peep it? He encompassed the entire situation in one word, in one sentence, I should say. You're saying, come to Manchester, right? Where you won't come to this chat after I have posted 4 links.
Yep.
Your threats. Very hard to believe. You're a very good judge. Sawab, you're a very good judge of character. I see you.
I just do me one big favor. Please bring Bruce Wayne on this.
He won't come,
He
bro.
won't.
I want
He
to
won't.
smoke his ass so
Oh, man.
badly.
Sawab, he won't.
I
He
will
I'm
doesn't
telling
want.
you,
He
he won't.
doesn't want the smoke. He doesn't want the smoke.
He won't. Trust me.
clown.
And before listen, and this is what it is, right? I'm not gonna say anything good or anything bad. I'm gonna say that there was a time when he said some stuff about me, and I said, "Yo, I'll go to your channel, or you can come to mine." I'm not gonna say anything bad about him
Julius,
because
the funny thing is, I'm having full debates with him in the comment section. And when I say something to him, anything about Mayweather or Tank, he deletes my comments. And he just responds to one thing. He's reading my comments. He knows I'm gonna smoke him.
he
I
doesn't.
invited him so many. He doesn't want it. I'm like, bro,
doesn't-
you're a big talker. You're a fan killer. You're a fanboy killer. Come on,
Bro,
bro.
that's a gimmick, bro.
You're
That's
gonna
a gimmick,
smoke him
bro.
like a pack of Newports.
Danny, you can love Errol as much as you want, but you can't expect me to purvey the lie just to make you feel better.
He knows he's gonna get smoked like a pack of camels.
All right,
For
if
real.
Errol don't win this fight with Ugas, he is not on the level of the hero, the champion, the American patriot, Terrence Crawford. God damn it.
Look, I love Errol as well, yeah. Let's not get it twisted. I love Errol as well, but I love him enough to be honest with him and let him know that, Rupa, you're chatting shit right now, bro. Have the fight that we want to stop being a pussy. And
Errol
get me,
is
if you
not-
love a man, you will tell a man the real.
He
Yeah,
is
know what
not
Errol needs to
cut
do?
from the cloth of the holy
need-
Crawford.
He needs to get with his Jamaican side and get and toughen up, bro. For real, man.
Bro,
I
that
think
dude-
America softened him.
Bro, you know he's Sean Paul Jamaican.
No, but oh wow.
Wow, big, why you gotta go
Yeah, how
there?
you gonna do it
Why you
like
gotta
that?
do something like
Give me
that?
the line and pass it through.
Oh, boy. Danny.
Saw
Danny.
He's got the type of Jamaican that who did Lomachenko beat? What's his name?
Because they're
Nicholas Walters.
boxers, they can't drink, they're not runs, and now I ain't mad, I'm smiling when I talk, so you can shout, what are you doing? Come to Manchester and ask for me, real name on my comments.
Danny, just
So why
come,
not just come on the chat,
talk. If you want to,
Yeah,
left
Danny,
twice
why you gotta
already.
get
chat, come.
No, wait.
Click
There's a
the
whole
link.
no, wait. There is a whole fucking ocean for me to have to come to Manchester, bro. And I'm gonna come to Manchester because you have a chubby for Errol. Does that sound realistic, bro? All right, let me
And
go.
all you have to do is click a link.
Sawab, I'm gonna go book the flight where he won't click a link to come talk to me. I'm gonna go book a flight.
Book a flight.
Hey, yo, Manchester Macklemore, come join the chat, please.
And Danny, boxers can drink if you want, but Errol's like an alcoholic almost at this point. So
No, well, listen. I say this all the time. I have no sympathy for any drunk driver whatsoever. Why?
Right.
Because most of the time when I'm on the road, I'm with my family.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to have sympathy for someone who jeopardizes. Fuck your own life. If you don't care about your life, hey, go jump off a fucking bridge. But don't endanger people that are on the road. You could be the perfect driver. You can be the perfect driver. All it takes is for some asshole to get everybody hurt.
And you?
Danny's argument to that will probably be, yeah, but it was at 1:00 in the morning. No one else was on the road at the time.
Talk is cheap. When you're in UK media, you're on call. I don't even know what he's saying anymore. Like, bro, just click the link.
It's all
wow.
It's all
Talk is
belligerent
cheap, but
bullshit.
commenting isn't.
Yo, gentlemen, I gotta go to sleep now because I got work in the morning. But it's been fun. Y'all have a good night, and
You too, man.
be easy, y'all.
Hey, Danny,
Thank you.
everybody, I'm gonna fucking go to sleep. Is this
Yeah.
what time is it here?
It's 11:15, bro.
All right, yeah, I'm
4
over.
a.m. and
Hey,
wherever
you
he's
old
at.
ass fuckers. It's 4:00 in the morning here, 4:30.
Right,
And we got work
Damn.
at 10. We're still up, bro.
I'm going to sleep, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure, and go, Danny Ranger.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Go,
Danny.
IQ Ranger.
Hey, Danny, have a good day or night. Thank you, Danny, for the comedy.
Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, it's been fun and laughs, yo. But another day, man. Let's go to sleep.